Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. Very happy to have you here today. We, of course, are going to be continuing with Iron Pass Session 15 and getting into their long climb back to the surface. And today's going to be very interesting, a little bit of different interaction than we've had recently, which is always good. Let me go over here and hit that like and share button. Hopefully, you guys will do the same. Let everybody know that we are doing what we are doing, and those who are interested can come and be part of it. We did have a little bit of an interesting conversation before we came on, as I give it a minute for people to come in and be and who are supposed to be here in the team. But we had an interesting little conversation, and I'll read something Lady set up, and I thought it'd be interesting to give you a little bit of the history of it, so that you all would know, and therefore not ask me stupid questions anymore. Okay.
Well, that's not going to happen,
That's
Chester.
not going to happen. I know. Lady found this very little interesting thing, and it is quaint, inaccurate but quaint. And I read it once, but I'll read it again. I've always wondered why liberals were referred to as the left and conservatives as the right. Then I found this Bible verse: "The heart of the wise inclines to the right, but the heart of the fool to the left." Ecclesiastes 10:2. Now, of course, that's not at all why we call them right or left, although I like this one better.
Yeah, it is.
And oddly enough, GOP, you didn't hear the conversation, everybody, but GOP was correct, unironically.
I know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens every once in a while.
It does.
Yeah.
The reason why we call it left and right is during the French Revolution, they were reforming their government and murdering, a good 1,000 or so people a day with the guillotine as they did. Of course, I
Making
love
omelets.
how the world. Well, I love how the world always talks about the French Revolution. It's a complete and utter failure, but everyone talks about that. When no one talks about the successful revolution in America, it's kind of weird, especially seeing as everybody based their constitutions off of ours. But whatever, I'm not angsty
Preach, brother,
at all.
preach.
All right. But during the French Revolution, basically because tensions were high, you see, and basically to keep some peace, they literally divided their congressional sitting area where they were having conversations, and they would put the conservatives on the right side and the liberals on the left to keep from warfare, and therefore they could actually have conversation and get things done. So it has carried on to today, a good 200 years later, and we still refer to it as the right and the left.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
But it really does line up with Ecclesiastes. That's cool.
It does. It has a much cooler reason. You would hope that things would have depth. But the problem is, a lot of people give way too much credit to our politicians. They're not the sharpest tools in the shed, folks.
And they're
After all, they
getting
can't hold
dumber.
a normal job.
Yes. And a lot of them are quite jealous of others and their success, if you haven't noticed. But nevertheless, I thought that would be an interesting little thing. I do have a Bill. Hi, Bill.
William.
William.
Hello.
How are you? Did you learn something
all right.
today?
Yeah, I did.
That's good. What did you learn?
Just what you just said. Yeah.
Oh, you learned nothing else before me? Oh.
Well, it was a long day. I did learn a lot today, but it would not be entertaining for our audience to learn about the county treasurer.
Well, that's true. That is true.
What he do?
What did he
She do? What they do?
No, I bought a car in one state, and then you now pay sales tax in where you reside.
What?
And I have 9.6% sales tax, so it was a pretty hefty bill I had to pay today.
Oh, well, taxes are pretty ugly and disgusting, but that's a whole conversation that I could do an entire show on that.
No, you will not.
I could.
You could.
You
I'd
could.
be there.
Anyway, I do want to, before we get going here, I did want to get a little bit of a shout out. I'm showing on the screen. I'm not sharing with you guys. You can see on the YouTube. This channel here on YouTube is the Comic Storian. Now, Comic Storian is an amazing website. Amazing. If you want to know anything about any comic book story arc, go there. He does these beautiful stop motion documentary style things. The production's high. He's been doing it forever. He's got 3 million subscribers and 4,000 videos. It's amazing. If you want to learn about some story arc or some character or something like that, the amount of work and effort that has been put in by this guy is absolutely amazing. Go check it out. He is the king of comic books on YouTube. However, he died 2 days ago
Oh my god.
from some
No
manner,
way.
from some manner of accident. His wife managed to pull it together long enough because she understands how big his impact is on YouTube. She put out a little bit of a statement. Just we don't know what kind of accident it was, just that he has passed away, and she and his team will endeavor to continue in the future, and I hope they do, because honestly, what he has done over the past, I don't know, it's like a decade or something. It's
Yeah.
really impressive. Um, so it's a sad day. We've lost one of the good ones. He's he kept politics out of it. I mean, he's a family guy. I think was also like Christian. I mean, he's probably conservative, but who cares? He kept politics out of it, and he just did his love of his comic book hobby. And I just say go over there just for a little bit of support. Watch a video or two. Learn
Yeah.
about the web of Spider-Man or the House of M or anything like that. He's got videos in every single arc you can imagine, and he also has like little biopics in a way of individual characters and stuff. It's impressive, but I just wanted to give a shout out because that's pretty sad,
Yeah.
dude. That sucks a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks a lot. He
Aw.
was a really good guy. He's a real sweet guy too, and he has a huge following. And he goes to the conventions, and they all have their little metal, actually, not the plastic ones, but actual metal signet rings and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, they had a good. He has a very fun community over there. And I'm sure they're just absolutely hammered from this because, like I said, he died in an accident. It wasn't, some long illness or something like that. I'm assuming
Right.
a car or something like that. But it really
Yeah.
sucks. Anyway,
Mm.
but it
Prayers
sounds
for
like
his family and their friends.
yeah, no,
That's
absolutely, it's really hard. Yeah. But it sounds like Bill's the only one who knows who he is here. But just go over and check out the Comic Storian. Just go to the site, watch a video, show a little respect to the dude, because you watch one video and you'll see the absolute level of production value and work that goes in. Each one of those long form, I guarantee you, took a week. I mean, a solid 40-hour week. Because I've produced video editing here. That's an insane amount of work.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and he's got 4,000 of those. So
That's a massive number of videos. Oh my gosh.
that's what you call dedication.
Yeah. Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Probably
super
the
nerd, yeah.
longest he's gone without a post.
Yeah, maybe. Matter of fact, he put a post out 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So just a day before he passed. So
Well,
anyway.
God bless.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just with our community here, I know this. I'll mention it again on Drone Recorder because that's the show that gets we get a lot of views on that one. I'll mention it again, but because he deserves a shout out, not just for the loss of a human life, which is always impactful, but that dude is the real deal. That's what
Yeah.
YouTube is for, right? I mean, we get up here, talk about little things, and have some conversations, and it's all good and fun. But we could, be on a site that was just for live streaming, and that would be fine. But those guys who create an encyclopedia of human life, those are the real champions, in my opinion. Because you can go on YouTube and you can learn to do anything.
That's true. They've got so
Yep.
much. Whatever it is you're looking for. I found a video on how to make a daisy chain.
Yep.
Like, really? Like, wow. Like, didn't even realize that
All
was a
right,
thing.
now there are
What is
3
it?
kinds of daisy chains.
I was expecting you to say something, Chester, but I will refrain because it's only 7:10.
An aneurysm. Okay, all right. I'm assuming you talk about the flower daisy chain. Okay. Whew, Bill.
I don't know the flowers.
Yeah.
Get your
you were talking
mind
about
out of the
crocheting.
gutter, Chester.
No, I was talking about daisy chaining electrical systems.
Oh yeah, that.
That's what I was
That's
talking
exactly
about.
what you were talking about.
I kind of know
Nothing.
how to do that, but I've always heard of the phrase about like making a daisy chain. I go, what exactly is that? And apparently,
Well,
the way you take the flowers and cut the stems and can make a little crown out of them. I'm like, oh,
That's
mm-hmm.
exactly it. And don't Google
Yes,
any
it.
other possibilities.
No, it is a May Day thing that they've been doing forever.
Hmm.
Yep, yep,
I agree.
it is. Yeah, well, even the Greeks had the laurel crowns and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
yeah, go to make adornments.
Yeah, but the Persians had a little bit. Well, anyway, moving on. So who are we waiting for today? I think we got everybody right.
Are we down
I don't know
a
what happened to Puffin.
puffin?
Oh, we're down a
Although
puffin. We need a
he is
puffin.
traveling,
That's true. Okay.
so
And
He's
Rabbit,
traveling?
Rabbit
Okay.
just magically appears occasionally, and that's fine. Otherwise,
Mhm.
he fights flopping goldfish. That's his job. But it would be
he
nice to have
steals my
Puffin in.
carrots.
Yeah.
Hi, Dave.
Yeah. But anyway, I'll go ahead and get started. And if Puffin pops in, it's great. We do have a little bit of dialogue and do before we get to anything that could be action. Now, as I had said before, these guys got caught in a teleport trap. And they were able to. Let me go ahead and share, and we can. I can kind of visualize it. So here, all right, perfect. All righty. So let me go ahead and bring this up. All right. So these guys got themselves caught in a teleport trap, and they were attacked by the opportunists. And they were able to win that fight. It was a tough fight, but they were able to win it. They took 2 hostages. One they just left, although Rabbit kept saying that kill it, kill it, kill it. No one actually informed me that that the father was killed. So as far as I'm concerned, he's just left there. Although you did bring his young son with you, and he's been being dragged along through fights, which is pretty. I don't know why the party's doing this, but they're doing it. So they have they have a victim.
We have a redemption paladin in the party.
I'm
Oh,
hoping we can get him back home to his mother.
aw, aw. Okay. And that's
But
assuming
we'll
Bill
get him back
doesn't
to his
feed
mother,
him to
just not in
whatever's
one
chasing
piece.
the party. Yeah, that's good.
Hey, Puffin.
I'm not
Hey,
the bad guy.
No, you are actually the bad guy. But that's okay.
He's-
It's okay.
No,
It's okay.
I don't
It's
know.
all right.
I'm a
Um,
good guy.
Now, you guys went through they went through a fight because after that they did get to one of the Avatar maintenance utility access rooms. Which these guys have managed to be able to interact with, and it's kind of interesting because their first foray in, they found one that had been completely untouched, but now that they have more experience moving through the delve here, they have found that these things are, all over the place. Most of them are broken. They're pried open. They're busted open. Most of them are very badly damaged, but they're not working. And it seems like no one has, at least in current time, has any understanding that there are some of them that do function other than you, as far as what you can see. So that's a major advantage on their part. And they checked and they asked it for the best route out to the surface so they could go home. And it gave them 3 encounters that they would have to go through would be the safest journey. First one was dealing with a bunch of cursed ghouls or ghasts. And it was a very brutal and bloody fight. But in the end, there's a little bit of redemption for that paladin because they did send cursed people to rest, and that's always a good thing, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm glad they've got some freedom in that. So
Absolutely. The next encounter, however, is a little bit different. We know the third encounter is just at the stairwell below the level where they found the first avatar, and it's the Helm Horror that they passed up before, but that's the most direct and quick way home. But that's the third encounter. The second encounter, however, is not necessarily a violent encounter because what they will have to do is go through that city that they never traveled to.
ooh. Oh, I'd
Um,
love to see a new city with people in it. That'd be
right.
great.
And the city has been named, the current iteration anyway, is called Cragmora. And this, you gain some information on it. It's been built on top of the ruins of the original infrastructure many, many, many times. And this current time is no different. I'll explain what it looks like and get to it a little bit later. But basically, they're journeying on from their gas fight. And it's a 3-day journey to get to Cragmore in the safest way possible. And through the at the end of the first day,
Mhm.
um, they find themselves just outside of the entrance to another city that is more north of Cragmora, but this one is the same as you've seen already. One thing that you found about the delve is it's not like a standard dungeon that around every corner danger leaks. It's lurks. It's not like that. It's actually mainly desolation and dust.
Hmm.
Right?
So almost like a architectural dig.
Well, no, no, no. It's one of the most fantastic things that you think may have ever been built by mankind.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, Honey is just enamored with the place.
Giggling.
Yeah.
I'm a kid in a candy store.
Now, you guys do every time you come past one, you do try to because you know what to look for now. And so, like I said, a lot of them are pried open or busted, but you do find another avatar room and it's not you can power it up like you always do, but
Mhm.
it's the avatar is not working right. Something's wrong with it. So
Oh.
Honey, the our artificer, which are quite rare actually. These are not the most common of character, right? She's kind of messing around and trying to figure out how she can get it more clarity with it. Therefore, she needs to give me a roll. And if anybody has any ability to help her to make her role better, seeing as she's effectively dealing with alien technology, that would be nice.
I'm gonna do a what is that? Guidance spell. Divination on her.
I'll help if I can.
Well, you can't, but Lady can.
Well,
Yeah.
I think there's a skill called, or it's a function called help. I'm not exactly sure what that would do. Maybe hold the light.
Well, there is a help function which allows the person who's doing the role advantage,
Right,
but
but you have to have
you
the
have to
skill
have
to be
like
able to help. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
And
a
what
specific.
exactly is she rolling again? Just so I missed that part.
Artificer.
Oh, okay. So that wouldn't be like Arcana or anything. Like that's a very specific crafting ability.
Yeah, it's very specific crafting, but
Hmm.
guidance certainly would be helpful. I just don't think we have any other engineers up to par in this particular case.
Oh, at
But
her level, yeah, she's pretty crazy. The
well,
stuff she
like I
can
said,
pull
the
off.
artificers are very rare anyway, right? Anyway, I
Mhm.
need you to make a roll, honey. So
Let's
you know,
see. Here we go. All right. So I have intelligence of, let's see, just like my a normal intelligence roll
make a craft
plus
roll.
a craft roll.
And add a foresighter to it.
Mhm.
Add a foresight. Okay. Oh goodness. Where do you find the craft? What? Where do you find the craft stat?
It's under skills.
Uh,
Under
No,
skills.
it's not. It's written
it's
in.
something that we added for this particular game because it's not
Yeah.
like a
Well, I
normal
add
skill.
for any fifth
Yeah.
Yeah.
edition run. I add craft.
Yeah, yeah,
It should have
yeah.
never
So
been
Yeah.
it wouldn't
removed.
be like in your normal page list. It would probably be. I mean, I would assume you would have proficiency in it.
Hmm.
Would
Right.
make perfect sense.
Hmm.
So, your intelligence is a 20, correct?
Yes.
So 5 plus your proficiency, which I think is a +3 right now. So,
Hmm.
you should have a +7 in crafting, and then just add the D4.
Okay. So
And the proficiency I think is it 2? Or now does
No,
the
it's
oh
at
wait a
three
minute, what am I
currently.
Yeah, at our current level,
It's
any
3.
time you're adding proficiency, it should be a +3.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it would be roll a +8 or proficiency bonus would be a 3, that would make it an 8, not a 7?
Oh yeah, it'd be an 8. Yeah, not a
okay.
7. Yeah, my bad.
And then a
Now
D4
is
as
there
well. D20
is
Math.
plus
there
8 plus 4, a D4. Go ahead.
Yeah, math.
I know, right? I haven't made my coffee yet.
Right.
I'm drinking
Okay.
mine. I'm good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but it's morning for you.
I've been up since 3.
Oh my gosh, that's not right.
Here we go. 1d4 plus 1d20 plus 8.
Well, I mean that is the correct number.
It is.
So
It's kind of a crap
yeah.
roll, but
Mm.
all right. So it takes her a while, and but eventually she does get the avatar working, so you can use it like you normally do. And you guys make camp here because it's pretty safe because you can actually close this door. Although
Oh,
you
nice.
haven't seen much of, you haven't seen any kind of in the in roaming monsters, right? You haven't seen
Right.
much of that. But nevertheless, she does work on it, gets up. Now the thing is, as you've been looking at this, honey, over the past, how many every weeks or months we've been interacting with the delve, um, you have started to formulate a concept, and you take some time here and you kind of complete your theory on this. So, what she tells everybody is looking at the way this is built. Each of these utility tunnels that you've been traveling through is 5 miles long,
Okay.
and they're 30 feet in height. In height. You only see like 15 what you guys are interacting with, and some of them are a little taller. But actually, there's a whole nother level below that's like tubing and all kind of stuff that's going on that you guys don't really understand. And neither does she. And then she knows that there are each of these shafts, these 5 mile long shafts, are about 30 of these tubes, these utility shafts, tall, right? And then they are next to a large city area that is 10 by 10
Wait.
miles
Oh,
and
Miles, not feet.
miles,
Okay, sorry.
and she has figured that there is a stack of 10
Hmm.
deep, and
City?
there are a
Oh,
stack
wow.
of 10 long. So if you do all the math, you get up to your 156, 160 miles along this mountain range. But it also gets to one of the references you keep seeing a lot of times around here, especially those who can read it, who can read
Mhm,
arcane, and of course Puffin here has the ability. The reference to
mhm,
the 100 makes more sense because there literally were 100 cities. Now, this is a very long time ago. Some absolutely insane cataclysm forced them underground. It must have took centuries or more, or even millennia to build all this. Although it seems like their magical, technical ability was beyond anything that anyone has ever heard of. And it was a good, the Avatar told you the first time that it had been
mhm,
10,000 years or so ago that another cataclysm hit and they all got kind of wiped out. And since then,
mhm,
various things have come in and occupied, kingdoms have fallen, and kingdoms have risen. With
mhm,
that said, with that understanding of how this structure works, you understand that the vast majority of this gigantic facility, right,
mhm.
is empty. It is
Wow.
desolate. There are little pockets here or there, but it's mainly just empty. Now, when you were kids, you heard all kind of stories about the city underground, and you've heard things, but the people in Iron Pass don't really care about much about those shenanigans. What they care about is making money off the people who care, and they have done that quite
Mhm.
well.
So
But
it's
never,
interesting.
well, yeah. But here you guys are in it, and you're starting to understand those stories you heard as a kid, and they're starting to make more sense to you what they actually meant. However, the important information that she gleans before you head across another one of those dusty and desolate cities to get into the utility shaft on the other side, and then ultimately end up into Cragmora, is Cragmora itself. Now, you're talking to the Avatar after she gets it repaired, and
Mhm.
the Avatar explains that I might as well just put that up right here. So the Avatar explains that this particular. Remember, there's 100 of these cities throughout this enormous structure.
Structure.
And this city, particularly because it's so close to the surface, has had and surface that has entry points that this has had people living in it ever since many times. The one you're going
Oh.
to walk through in the morning doesn't have really easy access from the surface. Therefore, that's why it's basically dusty and desolate. But the
Mhm.
adventurers who come in, mainly what they're doing is going into these dusty and desolate empty cities looking for treasure that way. That's mainly
Mm.
what they do here. And Cragmora is set up to kind of facilitate that in a black markety way. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And what it explains to you is this that up until just a few decades ago, just before what was his name? Kel? I can't remember his name. The delve is named after him.
Cade.
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 Cade found the pass. Just kind of a little bit before that, there was a big old war here, and Cragmora fell
Whoa.
to an outside force. And the Avatar is explaining that the outside force are what he calls the Death Speakers. Now you've heard of them before. I've mentioned them before. They're
Mhm.
this kind of weird kingdom to the east that their population live luxurious free lives, and then when they die, their body is necromantically turned into a servant for the population.
Mm.
You've heard of them before, and the Avatar is calling them Death Speakers. They have various other names, but Iron Pass has not had hardly any interaction with them. However, they rule here, and this is why the Yuan-Ti and human adventurers and mercenaries and traders and drows and even Fomorian are all happily interacting because the Death Speakers are powerful enough to keep those various factions in line. So Cragmora is a place that anyone's welcome. There is a fee, however, of $100 per person to get
Okay.
through the gate. And it's up to you what you do in Cragmora. You could just pass through and be done with it, and we can go right to the Helm Horror fight. Or you can interact with the place and learn some of its secrets, and who knows? It's up to you.
Hmm.
This is the information you guys, particularly Honey, is able to glean before everyone goes to bed for the night, which you could do quite soundly because nothing's getting through that door really quite easily. And
Well,
you find yourself up in the morning, preparing to cross that desolate city, and head over to Cragmora, and you need to make decisions. So I hopefully have explained everything clearly. If you have any questions, please ask.
well, it seems like Chester put a lot of work into this city, so I say we should just go there real quickly, skip over most of it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
keep moving.
Just go right through.
Skip the city, you say? Go through the other door, you say?
Yeah, we should go the
Like to go
opposite way.
adventure into Cragmora.
You can do as you
Maybe
like.
we can
No,
find
no.
some
No, I
treasure.
know, I know. I'm just giving you crap, Chester. Yeah, no, it actually sounds pretty cool. I mean, we should
But we're
probably
not
spend a
supposed to
little.
attack other people, though.
It's
Well, I mean,
this is a safe zone, kind
It's a
of.
safe
Kind
zone,
of a
yeah.
safe zone, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we could spend a little downtime here too. You know, just a thought.
see
And
if anybody's, here. It's mostly peaceful, right, though? So we wouldn't expect to be attacked
Well,
immediately.
it's enforced.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
so
Now keep in
don't
mind
mess with people.
on the surface,
Mhm.
there's no real law in Cade's Delve. This is a land that doesn't really honestly, if it belonged to anyone, it would be the Green Elves, really. But
Mm.
this is not under the canopy, therefore they don't care for it, right?
Mm. That makes
Um,
sense.
but there's not a lot of law that's enforced up top, and you guys have seen that firsthand. And honestly, with the opportunists, you saw there's not much of it down here either. So it might well be that Cragmora is the most enforced and organized place you've seen yet.
Hmm.
But it's certainly not affiliated with the Iron Pass or the Thizzian Kingdom, for sure.
Okay.
Wouldn't
Interesting.
the people who run the place get upset if you're like, but it's designed for people to go through and find stuff, though, right?
It's you don't know 100%. The Avatar can't give you every little detail that you want, particularly this one, because this one's wonky. Something's broken. But Honey was able to. What's your character's name again, Honey?
Let's say.
Lissay. Lissay was able to get it functioning enough to at least use. Mostly, it wasn't talking much. She basically figured out how to use the map function.
Okay.
But so she's not 100% sure what's going on, but she knows that to get through the gate, it takes $100 per person,
Well, that
Okay.
we can do.
Do we
and
have
it's
that
run
much
by the
coin?
Death Speakers. What?
Sure.
$100
Do we have that
isn't
much
that
coin?
much.
You guys have thousands and thousands
Yeah.
of dollars on you.
We're fine. So we should be able to get by. And no one should hopefully be selling crooked maps.
I will lend you some of my $91,000. You can have some of it. Go ahead.
I'll just
Where do
take
you-
some of his
Lady's
money.
Where do
got
you
money.
keep
There's
all
no
that?
way she doesn't have money.
It's
Uh,
dollars. It's paper
bag-
money.
Of holding.
Okay.
You got
So,
two now.
Yeah, we have
One
two, so
thing-
we can actually. Oh, sorry. What's up?
well, we've been underground for over a week. We probably need to get provisions.
We
Well,
probably
no.
smell kind of gamey.
Yeah, no, that's true. But you guys, as far as food and water, you are well set by the magic of the party. Do keep in mind, Lady can produce food as well.
Oh,
can,
that's right. Okay.
Lissay,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Now the gnome's annoying because she makes you pray before she gives it to you. But you know,
Those magic berries. They make
Yeah.
you feel good.
they do.
That's okay.
But
We
yeah,
say
and
thank you
water
for
as
this
well.
food ahead of
So
time.
provision wise, it's the reason why I haven't used it against you. Because trust me, Bill,
Right.
I would love to.
So then the next thing is, well, if this is a place of commerce, we we have certain things that we kind of maybe want to find some information about or even use
Yeah,
some
that's
trade.
right.
Right.
That's right. You
We
guys
do
could
have
also sell things. I know you got a bunch of stuff on you.
Mm-hmm.
You could sell them, and I don't know what the rate will be, but you can go find out. But it is a place of trade. You know at least that. It is
That's
a
true.
trade center. You know that.
Or maybe let's say can open one of her shops here.
There you go.
Well, let's wait till we see it
I-
first.
Yeah.
Oh, like you see it first.
We're jumping ahead a little bit
A
Well,
there.
little bit, just a little bit.
You still gotta. Now, of course, the journey in between is nothing. You just got to go through another desolate, dusty city. Now, you go digging in if you wanted to, which is what the adventures do. But they also run into a lot of problems. And now that you're here and been doing it for a while, months really, because remember, you guys were here, and then you left, and you came back, and some of the party stayed here, right? And you've learned a lot about the place now. And you know that sure there are little pockets of monsters here or there, but most people know don't go that way or don't go this way. There's a lot of utility shafts, tunnels along the we're talking horizontal tunnels, shaft being the giant thing that supplies it. And another thing she's learned is what the system is doing with these gigantic systems that they have for each of, these are miles and miles and miles deep, right? What they're doing is it's kind of like it's still functioning. You guys have seen it. You've witnessed it functioning many times. Even though the power source, which you have access to some, is not functioning in the facility in general, right? I call it a
Mhm.
facility, but this continent of a building. But the reason the water keep is working is because it mechanically functions similar to a Tesla Cascade, if you guys know what that is. Tesla was a freaking genius, obviously.
And then the
he
government killed him.
yeah, but he figured out how, if you have a static pool of water, it's static, it doesn't move. So how do you move it along? Well, we need pumps and we need energy. We need energy. Well, he figured out a way of
Gravity.
using stones and patterns in the stones interacting with the water and seeing as water is energetic in and of itself. The water will interact with the angles of these specifically energetic stones, and the water will vibrate itself, causing itself to move a particular direction. Therefore, he can create a current mechanically. Right. This is one of the things
Oh,
Tesla did that no one talks about for some reason, even though it's freaking genius. And I see actually Japanese paid attention to it because I see a lot of Tesla cascades around here.
and it just keeps running?
Yep, forever.
Wow.
Infinitely.
Yeah, no, it's pretty badass. But anyway, this system is effectively a gigantic version of that, and she's figured that out. But a lot of the danger is running into traps because whatever happened to these people, they were worried about a lot of things. Maybe even the own citizens, possibly, because there's a lot of traps within the city set up to protect vaults and to protect homes and stuff like that. And some of those
Mm.
traps involve long held, magically really pissed off things.
Oh my
That's the
goodness.
danger of Cade's
That's
Delve.
when you say, "Okay, let's get the hell out of here."
Right. But
well,
but the treasure people are interacting with, a lot of it they don't understand, and you understand this probably better than the rest of them, lady, because your whole life you've seen your dad buying and collecting these things, and
mhm.
there's a lot of stuff. It's magical. It's the mineral value is incredible, but he doesn't know what most of it does. Anyway,
Interesting.
you
Oh,
guys have to go through Cragmora. It really
mhm.
just depends on how you want to go through Cragmora. So discuss and choose.
Okay. So then the treasure hunting is in the desolate cities, not in Cragmore itself.
Yes.
Cragmore itself is like
Well,
a city.
well, you
Correct.
Okay.
don't really know 100% Cragmora. Well, you don't know exactly what's going on with that. But you know that Cragmora is at least a trade area, so maybe it's a place where adventurers sell and buy as well. You're not 100% sure. But you do know that most of the treasure hunting is in the desolate areas. That's right.
Right. That makes sense. And that's where you could run into that kind of adventure. But it would be sure nice to get back home. Um, okay. Well, so we have to go through the city to get home. So we definitely know we're going to go there at least. Um, Maybe if it looks like there's, I don't know, if anything looks like there might be a friendly inn or if people don't seem too terrible, we could stop someplace and see civilization for a moment. I'm not exactly sure. I'm a great adventurer.
Let's ask our wandering prisoner here
Mhm.
if he's ever been here before.
That's a
Good
good
idea.
idea.
This what was his name? Timothy.
Mhm.
Yeah, Timothy.
I think his name was Timothy.
Tamathai.
Of course, he's still terrified with these crazy people that are dragging him around as they fight undead monsters, and he thinks you're all a bunch of crazy people. But he's terrified, so he answers your question. He said, "Yeah, many times we sell our stuff there."
Oh, okay. Hmm. Well, that's good to
So the
know.
stuff that you steal from other people after you kill them.
He just bows his head and waits for the beating.
Oh,
It's okay. We're not going to cut off his other ear.
Oh
Not
yeah,
yet.
that's right. That's right. He is earless,
cool.
one earless. Yeah.
Hmm.
You can still hear.
Yeah.
Well, poorly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any
Poor
other
little
Not,
thing.
questions for
not
Timothy?
Uh,
no.
guys, this
Does he have any?
means that if he has any friends in this town, they're gonna wondering why we're dragging him around.
Or they'll
And why is he
notice
staying
that
here?
all the rest of the people in his party are dead, or not here, anyways, and he's here. And they
If they
might
want
think,
to go rescue him, they can, but he wouldn't come with us. So,
Timothy, do you have any friends?
He says most of them are dead.
oh,
That's what I thought. This guy's
do
scum.
you have any family here? Is there anyone for you here, or maybe topside?
My father said that my mother used to work in the brothel, so maybe.
oh,
Oh,
Oh, OMG.
Sub tower.
It's the Tower of Power.
Hello.
It's a
Wow.
tower flower.
It's been a while.
Man, it's been a long time since we've seen you.
Hey,
Yeah.
great to see you.
Yeah.
We're in a scary city underground
Well, not
trying to
yet.
figure
You're
out.
not there yet. You're
Yep.
deciding
Oh,
what you're going to do when you get there.
yes, that's what we're doing.
So let's look at our inventory and see what we have for trade if we want to
Yeah,
sell.
now you guys,
Okay.
this 100%. It's definitely a trade place. You know this. So if you have,
Right.
you do have
So
stuff you could probably sell. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so I know we all have our own individual magical items. I know I've got. So we did pick up a masterwork short sword plus 1 to damage. I don't know if we gave that out to anybody, but that's something we have in our inventory. And we also have a 7th level spell scroll of Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion,
Mhm.
which is well above what any of us could normally cast.
Yep.
well, we have
Um,
to maybe. I mean, those are the kinds of things where you're talking a lot of coin and a lot of attention.
True.
So they may not be something we want to divulge that we have to sell as we go into town. So maybe some things more mundane. Any any artwork
Well, that's
that
Um,
right.
we like that
That's
we
a.
picked
It
up
is
at the
a.
last place.
It's not necessary. He might be overreacting. However, you do have a very safe place to sell.
Right.
Here?
We could sell these things back in town at
Well, to her dad, lady's dad.
To my
exactly.
dad.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean,
it's
I
a
do
fair
have a
point.
studded leather to sell, studded leather armor. So,
Well,
but I
didn't we
mean, I don't.
just picked up like 4 art objects, right? In the
Well,
last session
Yeah, I got
for
3 of them.
we could look for some magic items. Maybe they've got some other bags of holding or something interesting here, or oh, I don't know, something.
I was thinking about picking up a rifle.
Oh, I wonder if they would have that or something you could use to
Well,
make one.
that's something you would have. Yeah, that's the correct. There you go. You have to find something
Mhm.
to make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
'cause
now that
that's
we,
kind of an anachronism. That's a little out one timeline versus another. You'd be creating that and be like probably one of the originators of the device.
Well,
Um,
no. I've already
no,
established that they do exist. They're just. It's mostly something you see in the Western kingdoms.
or is it like an aquabus, or is this
Yeah,
more
yeah,
of a
yeah, yeah. But in her hand, it becomes
flintlock,
something completely different, right?
like a flintlock, or okay? Um, well, I put dibs on that masterwork sword. I don't have any
okay.
kind of magic attack at all. I just
Then
have
dibs it.
dibs it. I just have silver arrows,
He
and
has
that's
dibsed it.
Yeah.
if that's okay. I mean, I think everyone has a way to attack with magic besides myself.
Other than spells?
Well, hold on, Puffin.
Correct.
There was
Your
something
magic.
last time you guys got that I was kind of expecting would go to Puffin, but I think GOP took it.
Oh, the armor. Yeah, no, I took the armor. I totally took the armor.
Even though that's
Dude, I
Yeah, you
found it.
stole the armor.
really better
I
for
stole
Puffin.
it.
No, you did, and it's completely legitimate.
I'll steal
uh,
it while he's asleep.
but I did. Oh, I'm sleeping in this. It's light armor. I can do it.
I know, but I've never said.
Bag of
Just,
hold.
just hold
So
his mouth until he
And
passes
thus
out. Take the armor off.
it began.
since since I do have the bag, I did pick up a bag of holding. Uh, honey, you can, since yours is being made via one of your magical slots,
Yeah,
you can. We can reuse that slot for something else.
that's not bad.
So
It was the elven male that brought down the whole tower in the Lord of the Rings, right? All the
Mm-hmm.
goblins fighting over it.
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
That's
Very
cool.
good. Good reference. Person who would steal it in a
But
heartbeat.
my
Um,
question was, Puffin, what sort of weapon are you using currently?
Just a longsword.
So no magic.
No magic. I mean, I have a magical +1 dagger, but it doesn't do me
Yeah.
much good.
Well, since what I figure is, Bill,
Puffin, make him feel guilty. Make him feel guilty, Puffin.
since you are a light kind of weapon thing, anyways, that's more your specialty. If Puffin gets the longsword +1 and he gives you the dagger +1, then you both
oh,
have
that
magic
works. Yeah,
weapons.
that's a finesse weapon, and the longsword
Yeah.
is not. So
Yeah.
that's a
So
great move.
Um, I'm looking over my notes, and it looks like I have a some kind of +1. I have it written here, Master Sword, something with an ivory handle and a
Yeah, that's what we're
Celtic
talking about.
Celtic wolf motif.
Oh, so that's in your possession. Okay, so no, let's back it up. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
no, that's
I'd be
cool.
happy to give it to someone. I don't have any real use for it.
we were just
Yeah,
making notes.
I don't think we assigned it to anybody. I just think we had it we
Yeah,
had
I
it
just wrote
written
it down.
down.
I just wrote it down just a
Yeah.
note of its existence. I wasn't sure
Yeah,
if we
we
were
put it
talking
in
about it.
your
Okay.
bag of holding.
Yeah, so I mean,
Well,
is
that-
everyone cool with giving it to Puffin? Puffin, you give the dagger over to Bill, and that way everyone has at least some degree of magic.
Yeah, sure. You take the dagger.
Okay.
I'm
You
cool
All
with
right,
take
that.
cool.
my only magical item. I don't have armor.
Well, and
If I
then
really need to, I can imbue my weapon with like holy power, but that takes spells.
It
Yeah.
I
does.
think
That's
the
true.
only,
Oh,
I really think the only thing we need to do here is just gain information. I don't see as there's much commerce we need to participate in solely because we have sources on the top side.
That's true.
But
I'm
we could
gonna
just
go out and put
do,
some coffee on the boil. I'll be back.
we could
I
just
mean,
do a little bit of exchanging just to get familiar with some of the players in the town and some of the services that are there. Um,
mhm.
and we may just want to let uh, Tim go here.
In the
Yep,
town.
that's definitely a possibility.
I
But
mean,
Here in
bye,
Missy
Tyler.
safe.
Yeah.
he have a mom here? She might.
Well,
no,
I don't
Yeah.
think you understand what I know. You look at the best on people, but he's a cold-blooded murderer who just has spent many times slaughtering the innocent to
Mm,
strip them of all their goods and leave their corpses to rot. You do
well,
not. You are casting your pearls before swine in this endeavor. So
mm,
that's my take on the situation. So
Not a
sure.
bad date.
Yeah, I guess I just see a scared, abused child.
hell, he's much
which,
more of
yeah,
he's definitely
I
not a
mean, if you
child.
could convince him to devote the rest of his life to penance and things, it is there's no internet, so no one's going to know except us. So he could become a different person.
Maybe then I can just have a conversation with him about that. And if he wants to stay here, then well,
If we find him again, we'll just kill him next time.
yeah,
Yeah.
just let him
Well,
know that you're giving him a second chance. But
we
if we come
Everybody gets
across him
one.
again, then we know that he can't be redeemed. And yeah,
if we come
yeah,
across him again,
yeah.
we've given him grace now, but we cannot afford to do so in the future.
Hmm.
But I think
That's
your notion and you're noble, and it's a great thing to give him a chance.
like
You brought
I
up,
think that's like the bare minimum of what you could do within your paladin feature to stay within your path. You know,
if I can help someone.
yeah,
I mean, we tried to help his dad, but he was like, "Nope, I would rather stay here than have you help me." Like, well, okay.
yeah, and and that's a big part of the redemption paladin too. It's like
Mm,
you try and redeem people when you can, but you also understand like you can't always save people.
that's
It's
true.
just like
Some people don't
that's
want
the
to be
trade off.
saved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, it I
well,
mean,
then
but
we're agreed
he's
then to try and look at see what kind of resources are available here
We'll
while we're
probably have to
passing
pay his
through.
way in.
Well,
well, yeah, we
No problem. I'll take care
yeah.
of it.
we're gonna have to pay the toll. So,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but then I would like to see what the story is behind these alchemical coins
Oh
without
Yeah.
yeah,
revealing that we have them, as well as just trying to see what
Yeah,
I'd
is going
forgotten
see,
on.
about those. I
yeah,
thought
there
those were
was.
actually for another purpose.
Weren't they being traded between a giant and some snake people?
Yep.
hmm
And is this where the hag lady, the group that she was a part of, they own the city?
No. So she was with a group of the green elves, the forest
Yeah,
elves.
she went to go take
So
care of them.
But there
yeah.
was a relationship between
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
people in the East, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that what
Somehow.
you're hinting at?
Yeah. I don't, if they said that this town was ruled by them, I don't know. They might know something. I mean, I don't suspect she's here, but they might know something.
Yeah, I mean it's a possibility, but then again, it's kind of like who knows? You still have to talk to the right people.
Right.
Well,
We don't know where to
that brings
start.
up a question though. Is like the security of Iron Hills is with the Hag. Is that something we can help ensure by ingratiating ourselves here and gaining more knowledge about what's going on?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a path we can definitely take while we're here. If we want to take a little downtime in this place,
Well, it's
that's
probably
something
more
we
than a
can.
little downtime. I mean, we'd have to
Especially
basically
if you're
becoming.
the Lord, if you're the son of the Lord, you need to find this stuff out.
It's kind of like becoming double agents, is what I'm
Yeah.
hinting at. That'll
Okay,
take a
have
little
you
bit of
guys made
time.
decisions yet? I think I
No.
give you plenty of time.
We're gonna be double agents. Um, we're
Okay.
starting on. We're now crossing over into top secret. So
Dun 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 dun
Okay.
dun 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 dun.
I was thinking a little more Val Kilmer side, but okay.
All right, that's fine. The Saint was a great movie. Go watch it. But nevertheless, I will just continue on. You guys tell me what you're doing when I get there.
We're
So,
yeah.
yeah.
well, this was a random. This was a random, but it was something that Arune came up with. Was she was deducing that the Hag has a relationship with the was it the Dustwalkers? Is that the name
Death,
of the?
Death
They're,
Eaters?
they're called them the deaf speakers here, but yes, death walkers. Yeah,
Okay, so she
void
has a
walkers. They have
relationship.
many names. They call them deaf speakers here in
So
Cragmora.
she has a relationship, if we're remembering this right, with that society,
That's right.
and part of her um, motivation is almost like she's not necessarily an invasion force, but she's disrupting our settlement in our kingdom, the Thysian
Hmm.
kingdoms. She's an agent. So then this city again
That's an
is
assumption,
another.
but it's not
That's
necessarily
an
a bad
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
and then the city again is another agency
Yep.
of
No,
that
that's true.
society.
That you just learned that the deaf speakers do rule this city of Cragmora. Yeah, big time.
So it it could be a big opportunity for us to go undercover
Uh-huh.
and gain some kind of citizenship or some kind of relationship with different entities or factions in this city to
You're
start.
making an assumption that I would do something epic.
Oh yeah,
Well,
that's true.
maybe
You
we could.
are Chester Busby the Third.
Yeah, I know. That was sarcasm, lady. I think
So
my
that
point is Bill is sussing me out. You bastard.
Sus,
Uh-huh.
sus.
He
so
doesn't
that
want Bill to suss him out so much.
I had a
well,
big
and it
old
wasn't.
nice loop, all kind of laid in, waiting for the pieces to fall together. Everybody, oh my God! Frickin' Bill comes along. Goddamn Bill.
That's why
Well,
we
it
keep
wasn't.
Bill around.
It wasn't just me though. But I mean, honestly.
No, I've
So
been leaving clues all along, of course.
Yeah.
yeah, but like Melissa and Honey, like, well, they're the idea of connecting those two dots to this place now makes this place become something more appealing.
Hmm.
Um, so maybe our first step is just to get um, simple information, what it looks like, what
Sure.
kind of society we see, and then think about how we want to come back and with
Which
what.
is why I tried to guilt trip you into doing something in Cragmora. See, I have plans within plans, Bill.
There you go.
So we travel on in the morning. And of course, we are at walking speed, and you guys have got to cross a 10-mile stretch. And the average party can move a good. You got to do a good 20 miles a day if you really put yourself to it. Usually it's less than that. But then, of course, you also have to cover the
I think it's
utility
so
shaft.
funny. They're all walking and she's riding a dog.
Well, you're the smart one. Then, of course, you also have to cover the distance of the 5 miles of the utility shaft, and of course, that's it's a pretty solid day. However, today you get yourself a little bit lucky as you are walking along. You guys are, it's all desolate and dusty, but you hear a rattle and shake of wagons. And I'm
Right.
assuming everyone takes defensive positions as you would. You've been, you guys are kind of war fatigued down here. But you just see it's a caravan and it looks like it's heading to Cragmora. What would you like to do?
Oh, I've kind of put myself partially in front of Timothy. Um, does it look like merchants or can we?
Well, they're coming.
Do we do a
They're coming from from your perspective because you guys are traveling north to south, heading back south to that Cragmora. So they're heading. They're coming in from some side area that was to the west. So maybe
uh
they were doing something in the city or whatever. There are 5 wagons, however, a bunch of horses, and there are a bunch of stragglers bringing up the rear as well.
Now let's absorb our let's just stealth into this group, and then
yeah.
we'll just
Depends on
cast
what species
fireball.
they are.
Yeah, what are they?
They're mixed. Humans,
Okay.
half elves mainly. I don't think there would be many elves in this group. There might be a drow or two.
Did any of
Uh,
them look enslaved on the back?
Oh well, the wagons actually seem to be over running with various household goods, although the craftsmanship of them are quite impressive. It's similar to what you guys saw in that little secret protected household you ran into that
Oh,
one room. They're same kind of furniture. It's beautifully made, and the last wagon does have a bunch of humans in a cage-covered wagon.
hmm. Hmm. I wonder how much
Okay.
they would be.
No, you go check it
You
out
want to
if you
ask
like.
them?
Yeah.
So what are you
Oh.
Yeah.
doing?
Um.
What are you guys doing? You guys are in hiding. These wagons are coming up. They're turning at the corner of the road you were walking along, and it's heading straight toward Cragmore.
Okay. Well, I mean, we have a few options. If one of us wants to go up and interact, some with high social skills, and then have the rest hide, and if there's any issues, then they can come out of hiding, and we'll have a fight on our hands.
They don't
And
have
if
a gnome in the group, do they?
No.
Any
Maybe I
dwarves?
should stay out of it.
And you also have Bill's option, which is just kind of melt into the rear guard, as it were.
okay, so we've got basically two different plans, unless anybody else
Or
has
you
any
could just let
ideas.
them pass. That would be a third plan.
That's three. Okay, so what does everybody want to do? Let's go down the list so we can get this. Not argue about this.
Let's see. I
Go
guess
with
there's no.
Bill. I agree with Bill.
Okay.
Well, I feel like if we wanted to say, buy this place freedom or something like that, we could do that as easily in town without necessarily stopping the caravan and causing any kind of disturbance.
Okay. So do you want to let them pass by, or do you want to blend in?
Um, well, I. Hmm. Blend
It's hard to be morally ambiguous, isn't it?
I mean, if they got people in cages, let's just bonk them.
Oh, that's a large
You
group
don't
of
know if
people.
they're criminals or not.
We don't know a
That's
thing about their society, and that's what
That's
we were going to
right.
do, right?
Okay.
Our idea was to infiltrate and understand the society,
Yep.
not start busting out slaves and starting fires. So shut your
Uh-huh.
trap and get in line, and let's go.
good job, Bill. Good job, Bill. Good job, Bill. Although things might change because you guys are delaying what you're going to do, so the wagons are starting to pass by,
Yep.
and you got the stragglers, which is pretty long line of stragglers to be honest with you. But who has Timotei?
I would assume that'd be Amy,
Yeah.
since she's kind of been
Amy?
the one watching over him.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check. Everyone, give me a perception check, but particularly Amy needs to make it.
Okay. Oh, wrong one.
And
Just straight perception. You got it written on your sheet.
Yep.
Doo-doo-doo. And oh,
17.
19.
18.
Oops, I messed that up. Let me clear
What'd
it.
you get, Amy?
19.
Okay, very good.
Oh,
Nat
not 20. Woohoo.
Uh,
Nice.
Oh, nice XP. The only, I mean, you guys make it, just why not? But Amy's really the person I needed. Now you're much faster than Timothy with that roll, and every one of you, and Amy included, you do see someone walking amongst the stragglers. He seems to have found himself a new set of armor.
There's
The
Papa.
father?
Mm-hmm.
wow, he got himself out of there.
Oh. Huh.
Timothy's dad.
Timothy's dad.
Well.
And what do you want to do? You see it before Timothy can respond. What do you want to do?
I'm going to. I feel like at this point she feels a little protective of Timothy, and this man is cruel. So I probably am going to just kind of, without thinking about it, sort of set myself between him
You
and them,
have
and just kind of,
5, 4, 3,
Make a decision.
2,
yeah, I'm
1.
standing between him and kind of just staring him
Time
down.
up.
Okay,
Did
all right,
I'm
fine.
sorry.
There you
What
go.
was
She's
your
I'm
blocking
on,
his field of
just so you
vision.
know, I'm on Bill's side.
Yeah. Yeah. She's
what?
blocking his field of vision.
No, she's
Yeah.
not. That's not what she said. She says she's staring him down, which,
No,
No, she said she was
before
standing
that.
between.
oh, I see.
And she's yes.
I'm
That's,
just keeping an eye on him.
yeah, but that's not going to stop what Timothy's going to do, unfortunately. The right move was to grab a hold of Timothy and cover his mouth. Timothy yells out, "Da!"
Yep.
And Da
There we
looks
go.
over.
The
And
dog growls.
he basically, yes. And he shouts out an order in what are the languages here?
Orc.
Anybody speak Dothraki?
Nope.
Dothraki?
No,
Well, I
I'm
don't
just
think
I'm
we're in.
joking. I'm joking.
We're
I'm
in.
joking.
Yeah.
Does
Game of Thrones.
anybody here speak? What would it be? I guess it would be Orc. Anybody here speak
Yep.
Orc?
Yep.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope.
All
I
right.
do
The
not.
person who does speak Orc, he calls out in Orcish to halt the ride, and you see several of the guys on the wagon kind of look back and they stop, and all the wagons come to a halt. He takes 2 steps forward. You see most of those stragglers kind of crowd around him. And he says, well, small worlds, small pleasures.
I'm
Yeah,
going to
I can
shoot
hear
an arrow
Rabbit.
at him
I
right
can
now.
I can hear Rabbit right now. I told you we should have killed him.
Right now, Rabbit's dealing with a fish. Leave him alone. Now,
Still?
hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me deal with what's happening before you guys do whatever it is you want to do. And we'll see what kind of anyway. He said, Timothy, come to Papa. And Timothy starts walking toward his father.
Look over at Amy's character. Like you're gonna let him leave.
Can I put my hand on his shoulder?
you're going to have to actually grapple him because you do, but he's going to break away and run to Daddy. He's full on going back to Daddy. So if you want to stop Timothy, you will have to roll initiative with Timothy and attack Timothy.
Oh,
With the grapple, you don't actually
No,
have to
no,
do
no.
grapple, you're not
damage to
doing
him.
it.
That side tells me what's happening. Okay. So Timothy runs back to Daddy. And does anyone here want to take any action, whether it be physical or diplomatic or?
I,
Whoa! Fancy
I
seeing you again. I thought you would have died in those tunnels. And I'm going to do intimidation rolls. Just you know, have our group look scary.
So let me understand this right. This guy called to halt the entire wagon train,
Yep.
or just,
Which means
and he was walking in the back with the
Yep.
stragglers.
So
Okay.
How how many people do I see altogether in this, like with the stragglers and the wagon train?
Oh, everybody, including the people in the cages. Oh, good 50 people.
How many
fun.
in the cages, roughly?
About 10, 12.
12.
Everybody's armed except for the people in the cages.
or things.
And they all speak orc for some reason.
That is odd.
Well, let's see. And he was coming west, and we were going north to south.
Yeah, he must have known. He must have, a brigand lied to you, and maybe he did know exactly where he was and how to get out. He was only slightly ahead of you, though.
But either way, it means we're basically there's 5 of us tonight, so
Yeah, it's not a fight you want to get into. I mean, you guys are high level, though. I mean, but it's not really a fight you want to get into. But you don't even know what the situation is. I'm just asking, what are you going to do? That's all I'm asking. Timothy's running to Dad. That's the action that's happened. I need to know what you're doing. That's all.
Okay.
I draw an arrow and
I know what GOP's doing. Okay, so you stealthily follow in his shadow and draw a weapon, which makes sense because everybody else is drawing weapons on his side.
Yep.
So once again, GOP, say what you say. Anybody else doing anything?
I think my character's still a little. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I rolled a 20 on my stealth roll. So
good.
Nice.
Go ahead, Amy.
Sure. The only gnome in the entire area kind of just, dog quartered. Now, see here, there's no reason to draw your arms. I'm Bria.
Sure. Well.
And we beat you fair and square, pointing at the guy. Beat you fair and square in that trap that you laid.
So antagonize. Well, that's good.
I think that's meant to be more of a persuasion. I was doing intimidation, but you know what?
Yeah. Okay, lady, give me a persuasion roll then.
Come on, let's see your high persuasion. let's go. Let's see it.
Of course not.
I believe
Do I
in
have
you,
any
lady.
magic items that help me, huh?
You rolled an 8. No. She rolled an 8.
I haven't rolled yet.
Oh, well, roll.
No, that was earlier.
Get to it.
Yeah. Come on, natural 20. Come on. Why did it roll 2 times?
That's not right.
I don't know.
That's not right. Yeah. Roll again.
Clear it.
Roll one die.
27. Fuck yeah.
Right? 27.
That's not.
Why is it not
I see it.
clearing?
It's real.
I cleared it.
Okay.
Just go.
Yep.
Plus
D20
1.
plus your persuasion.
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
Wow.
Yes. The perfect Chester. This is
I got it, dude. Thank you. I now hate Lady most. All right.
Hooray.
All right. So, well, let me deal with that before I deal with anything else.
Lady, add the XP you earned.
Yeah.
Don't
How
forget
much
to
is
do
that now? Since we're at
It's
6th
50
level.
per level. So, your 6th level
300.
should be 300. Okay then. Timothy runs
How
over to
funny.
Dad. Dad actually clasps his arm around him, and the boy is instantly crying his dad's shoulder. He says something to him, and the boy tries to suck it up. And he looks at you, and he becomes kind of sheepish, and he says, "Nah, fair enough, as it goes in this adventuring business." He calls out something else in orc, and the caravan continues on.
That's
Right.
it.
Well,
The person who understands orc, he says, "Let's get it going."
Okay. If they're still hugging, I want to. Oh man, I'm so tempted to
Don't you dare!
I want to shoot my arrow through his arm and into Timothy's head, but I'm not
oh
going
my
to.
god. That would
I'm the
be.
good.
You're
I'm
so
the good
evil.
guy.
I can't tell.
Okay, so I mean, new plan. We should probably wait for them to pass, and then once they're a little bit further on, then we should
No,
go.
let's just hustle ahead of them and get in before they talk shit about us to the guards.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, that might be the
Yeah.
move. Yeah,
That's a good idea.
yeah.
I
that
would
be a good
never
idea.
believe his group would be that big.
Well, you don't know anything. You're making
Yeah, we know
assumptions.
nothing.
Clearly, they
For
know
last time we
each
saw
other in a certain way, but you don't
Yeah.
know anything about that. You guys didn't take the opportunity to learn.
hmm
Oh, he was
A
not very
cheeky
talkative.
little gnome just ended the situation.
I mean, granted, I don't think any of us foresaw that happening.
No, that's fair.
No.
I thought she was gonna roll like a really low number, and that
This
we
is-
would have,
This is the universe speaking, GOP.
We'll
Okay.
I was
get
the
a
only gnome, and I'm riding a dog.
Timothy's
Oh.
dad is gonna be a recurring villain. I just know.
Know it.
Yeah, I'm not even going to give him a name. He's just Timotei's dad. That's all
Timothy's
he's going to be.
dad.
So I'm going to take Bill's advice and go with that because it's the smartest one. You guys hustle ahead of the caravan, which is pretty easy to do at double time. And you guys, you got to do a push march today to get into Cragmore before they do. That is a smart move because you don't know what kind of interaction this guy. He's clearly part of the culture of Cragmore, right? At least he's that. But then again, if I were standing in my hometown with a bunch of people I didn't know, but if some foreigner showed up starting shit, I guarantee you everyone would be at my back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, a good idea to get through this place
Yeah, no,
quickly
it's
and
the right
maybe
it's the right
disguise
decision.
ourselves and come back to investigate.
No, we'll
What are you
just go
talking
home.
about, Lane? Don't ruin it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. All right. So you guys double time your day, which is fine. You haven't really done that yet, so it's you guys can take the fatigue hit. But you do get exhaustion by the end of the day. I think exhaustion is before fatigue in the new system, isn't it?
Other way around. So
Or
Yeah, I think it's
fatigue.
the other way around.
Okay, fatigue. Then you guys get a fatigue layer as you come in. Now, you guys, like I said, double team it. It's all on the same level here. So you guys you don't have to climb any stairs or anything, or take any little mechanical lifts or anything. You just head right through. You go through utility, and by nighttime, you guys find yourself coming out of the utility tunnel into Cragmora. Now, Cragmora has, just like the other desolate and dusty city places you've been through a few times, you've been through two of them so far. This is the third one. And it's laid out pretty much as you've seen. It's spectacular. The architecture is absolutely amazing. It's just
And
they're
dust
usually
free.
desolate. This one is the same. There are broken things here or there, but it's just absolutely amazing architecture. The difference is, as you guys kind of come off the lift and down into the area, as you usually do when you go into these city blocks, there are these hastily put together walls on either side of you, and you guys are kind of being corralled down a path. These walls are put together. You see a table here. You see a fence post over there. You see just anything they could find to create a corralled wall type of situation. It stands about 10 foot tall. And you don't see any people peering down from it, but you travel along this for about 100 meters. It turns sharply to the north, which in reality is west, but we'll just keep it simple. It goes to the right. Okay, and you see about 50 meters away, there's a shambled ghetto-made gateway. There's a small door off to the side, and it's got a bunch of guards standing down on ground level where you are, and there's about 4 or 6. You can't see them all. Guards up top on the parapet, makeshift parapets with crossbows. And of course, you guys know you have to go through this gate, and it costs $100 per person to pass the gate.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've got 100. Everyone
So
should have
careful.
100.
I'm short.
I've
You're
got
not
it.
short. You got tons of money.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stole it from
yeah,
him.
of course. But what I meant was, I'm short of breath. Whew, that was a run.
That was a run. It was. You guys are definitely fatigued. You have a stack of fatigue. But
What's the?
Some berries.
Is there a? Can I guesstimate the size? Is it thousands of people here?
well, from the information you were able to gain from the janky avatar you had to deal with, mainly
Right.
map, what it looks like they've got going on here is there's a strip of area they control that runs the entire length north-south, going from beginning to the other utility shaft that they control. It's a very narrow shaft, and everything narrow path. There are a couple areas where they seem, when you're looking on the map, it seems like they're doing farming underground, which is kind of weird to you. We don't understand what that's all about. But they're doing some kind of farming, and those areas are larger. But most of the city is actually outside of this little strip of what that is called Cragmora. And it looks, like you saw on the map. You can't see it from your perspective here, but when you saw it on the map, it looks like all the other desolate and dusty places you've seen. So they only kind of control this kind of, southerly strip that goes all the way across the city.
When you say control, you're talking about just the only place that has like a
People
orderly
and shops.
orderly pop. It's
you
the
know.
area that they dominate. The rest of it's pretty vast, but yet still desolate.
Right, but
Okay.
you don't know exactly what they're doing with that or what the function is yet. You're just at the gate. You haven't even paid to get in yet.
Sure.
And as you guys come up, the guard says, $100 to get in. That was my Cockney. That was my Sherlock Holmes.
All right.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Hey, Governor.
Hey, you all, governor.
Yeah, there we go. $100. 100 sterling.
Yeah. I
But-
give him, give him my 100.
Okay.
Hey, Lord.
I'm assuming you guys got tons of money.
Yeah.
Everyone pays,
Oh.
except for Bill, who is short.
Oh, Puffin. By the way,
I pay him, but I'm going to do a sleight of hand roll.
Oh,
To get,
God.
you gonna put the little string on the dollar?
no, I'm just going to pull. I'm going to try and get any kind of like a badge or anything like that. No, I'm going to wait. No, I'm going to do it. This is the perfect time.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. Make your roll.
And
By the
then
way-
because this is a sleight of hand, I get to use the gloves for whatchamacallit.
Oh, yeah.
Advantage.
You got all the tools to do it. So let's see what
Hey,
you got.
Alright.
Puffin.
He's
by the way,
got gloves. He's got shoes.
I'm looking
What?
through
And
through
he's
the
playing
items, Puffin.
soccer.
Yeah.
Double 11s?
Yeah, no,
so odd.
that's auspicious.
It is. It's
yep.
a night. That's super
were you-
lucky. 7,
No,
11,
you
21.
definitely
baby.
got
No.
it. I won't even bother rolling. That you got whatever it is you were after. The only thing you see that could be gettable are he's got a dagger on the belt, he's got a pouch on the belt, and he does in fact have a little copper badge.
A little copper badge. Okay, so
No,
we'll just
the
that little
pouch.
copper badge will kind of just drop into my pocket in my sleeve.
Yep, no problem. So
Hey,
you
Puffin.
guys pass through the gate without any kinds of issues. These guys aren't bullying you. They're not
I
trying to
miss it, too.
intimidate you. It just seems, standard action. right?
Yeah.
There, so you guys find yourself into the strip that is called Cragmora. Now, as you're walking along, and you guys are fatigued, you're pretty tired. You see on this there's actually a few roads. You're on the main strip, but there are a couple off roads, and some places a little thicker, and some places a little bit thinner. Like I said, way at the end of it, 10 miles away from where you are, there's a whole bunch of agriculture going on. But in the general area you're in, it's you see all kinds of stuff that kind of looks like home, for anybody that hasn't been to places like this, which is, I guess it's all of you, isn't it? We don't have Rabbit here or Larry here. So for you guys, it kind of looks like home, but much seedier version of it. There are taverns, there are inns. There is instantly a few of you guys recognize what a brothel is. You see something you don't have because usually the guards they don't, in Iron Pass, the guard posts, the guard houses aren't heavily displayed as such. Everyone knows they are, but there's no need to pronounce it so much, right? But here it's very very clearly labeled Justicar
Just
across the
it's
building. But there's a lot of that kind of stuff. There's definitely some inns and taverns and brothels. It's a seedy frontier trades town. No
inter-
temples, no tailors.
just
It's
places
No
to
singing nuns.
No,
no,
no, none of that.
it's like
none.
Abilene, Kansas in
Now this is on the
1860.
main strip. There are, like I said, there are little alleyways heading down. You could go and explore if you'd like. But from what you see right now, that's what you got. So, what do you guys want to do?
Well, should we
We need to
just
get some rest, but I just want to make sure
Yeah.
we're avoiding Timothy and Timothy Senior.
how
Yeah.
do how
So
far is it?
maybe
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
one at a time. Go ahead, Amy.
Oh, I was just wondering how far is it to here from here to the next Avatar location?
It's about 13 miles,
13 miles.
which you
So
make unless you want to put a level of exhaustion on you. You're not going to do that. You need to rest.
Yeah. Let's find an inn, someplace where we can all be kind of close.
On the far side of town.
Yeah, because it's
Well,
Not
early.
out
Those
not out into the garden areas, but
that caravan won't be here until late night, and that's assuming it doesn't stop for the night, which
oh,
it
but
might
okay.
well do, right?
but the
Um,
other goal is just like away from the slave market, wherever that may be.
well, you're
For the
just coming up on it, and off to the side you see just that. It's matter of fact, it's written in simple comments: slave market. And you see it's not very busy right now because it is nighttime. It's around 6, 6ish. But there's a slave market here, and there are a bunch of buildings that have and cells and various. You can't really see any slaves, but you're assuming there must be some that you would assume. But there's a full market auction area out front. But like I said, it's closed.
Good. We'll keep going. We just don't want to room it here. Is what my
I did find a nice
suggestion.
little Witcher picture for the slave market. Would you like to see it?
That looks sad. Okay. Thanks for
Yep.
sharing.
Okay.
I sad now.
So what do you guys want to do?
We're gonna find a place to rest that's not near the slave market because we know the caravan is definitely hitting the market.
Right. So do you
guess
want to
Um,
stay in this kind of area or just keep heading down the road?
I guess keep heading down the road a bit.
Okay. Um,
Nor towards like the commerce area for trade goods and see if they're besides people.
well, you do come to an area that takes a turn, kind of like where you saw the caravan coming in the other city, right? And this street goes up, and you see a lot more commerce stuff. And there is a place up there that has it has a name, of course, but it has a beer jug, it has a sexy lady, and it has a bed. symbol,
I point to the bed.
Can I have all three at once?
probably.
That's what we need.
And there is a lot of commerce, but it is late, so everything is kind of closed. The only things that are really open are inns, of course, brothels, and of course tavern type stuff.
Well, let's go see what kind of rooms they have available there.
Okay, but you are in the commerce area, so there is less activity here. There is this inn, tavern slash inn, and there is another one down toward the corner that seems to be more of a drinking establishment than everything. You guys go in. This place is called the Hooded Veil, and inside there's a lot of racket, and there are plenty of prostitutes in here doing their thing. But then again, from the look of the place, especially those you guys who do go to live at Wonderland, this whole town is probably just overrun with prostitutes. So it isn't necessarily a brothel. And But nevertheless, this is from that Gwent card game. They have some really nice art in that. But
Oh yeah,
Nevertheless, there's drinking and cavorting going on, but there's also a little innkeeper sitting there at the front. And You see that he has keys behind him, and sure enough, you can rent a room.
Oh, that's good.
So,
Oh,
Okay. How much we go and inquire? How much
well, go
what kind
ahead,
of rooms? How
talk to him.
much? Yeah.
hi.
Hello there. We're looking to inquire about some rooms.
Well, you want common? You want group, or would you like the fancy stuff?
group.
I look at the party. Well, considering we don't, I think a group room might make the most sense. But what do you guys want to do?
Group.
Yeah, group.
Yeah.
Group
Well,
room.
you guys
All right.
never
Number
even
of
heard of
person
common.
place
You don't
kind
know
of
what that
things.
means.
I guess that's,
I would
I
assume
guess
it probably means you just go and you're sleeping in with a bunch of other people just randomly.
That's
How
what
about
that is what it
Bunk
means.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
how about a room that's big enough for all of us but no one else?
Well,
Group.
no, that's the group room.
Well,
Okay.
you would have to get a couple of them. But
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They charge per person here, not per room anyway.
There's only 5 of us. It can't be that big. We don't need a lot of space, right?
So, yeah, no, that's true. But he says, yeah, group rooms got to cost you $60
But
each.
That's fine. That's
okay.
fine. Do you have any food that can be brought up, or?
Of course, my lady, we got the best food.
Oh, well, what do you recommend?
That would be nice.
Well, the slaves are working on chicken, and hold on a second here. He kind of goes around, he peeks down the corner.
Dysentery.
And dysentery. Yeah, I think it's pork.
You think? How
Or it
exciting!
was pork.
It's mostly pork. Like 78%.
He kind of leans
It's-
in. He kind of winks at you. Pretty girl. He's an old guy. He's like, I'd go with the chicken.
It's
The chicken-
porkish.
Well, since it comes well where I recommended, I will take you up on that.
Okay. We got basic food comes with the room, so we'll send. You want to eat down here? Or you want to eat in the room?
In the room, please. Let's get some rest.
Oh, I think I want to just eat and go straight to sleep.
Fair enough. So I need $60 from each person, please.
All right.
I already subtracted mine.
Okay. And you guys, little old dude tells you the number. He says, just go up to the 3rd level, and it's room 14 and 15, and there's an adjoining door.
Oh, lovely.
Now you go and do, and
Convenient.
you move yourselves up there, and it's not the most amazing thing, but it's fine. You guys are town folk, and you're used to more luxury than this. But it's cleanish. And in each room there are 4 beds, and there's like a desk and a chair, and there's a couple of benches, and each room is basically identical. There is a door connecting the two, however. So
Oh,
it's not fancy. There is, however, an
Hmm?
in-building latrine at the end of the hall.
Oh, wow. Well, that is fancy.
But no bath.
No, they do have wash basins in the room on top of the dressers.
Oh, that's nice. Well, this is a very nice room.
I need some help over here, ladies.
She
No.
needs a lot of
Sorry.
help. Yeah.
At the base of the
Yeah.
door.
The food does come up quite directly, and I'm assuming everyone got the chicken.
Yeah,
I'm
Okay.
I
yeah.
got
Well, I'm a
2
little
servings, one for the
hesitant,
dog and one for me.
It does
but
smell pretty
you know,
good, though. It does smell good.
I did. You know what? I did get some cheap their cheapest ale, and I prestidigitation it to make it taste way better.
Okay,
So
that's fine. But you guys eat your food and have your drinks, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, actually. This is, far more seedy than Iron Pass, but it is kind of wealthy place, to be honest with you. I mean, those prices, she said, okay. Well, that's because you guys don't get hotel room or in rooms in Iron Pass because you all have houses. It's actually
Homes,
quite
yeah.
expensive. You could
Okay.
probably have got a room for $60 back in an inn for just 4 beds just for $60.
Mm.
Yeah.
mm.
But you
So
don't
that,
really know that. You guys are locals. However,
We'll ask our resident thief person
uh-huh.
to check everything for, peeky holes and stuff like that.
Do you check for the peaky holes?
Yeah, actually, I was
Good
just gonna.
check for the
I was
peeky
gonna.
holes.
I was gonna suggest that
Okay,
secret
check for the
doors,
peaky holes. Go ahead.
and
I'm
then
gonna assume that's an investigation check.
It
and
is.
then I was going to suggest that we move.
Oh, I have a
We
+8
block
to
off one of the
investigation.
doors with the bed. Keep
Oh, maybe +7.
What do you say,
you
Puffin?
want
unwanted.
I have a +7 to investigation, so I'll look too. With
Well,
26.
you're probably higher. He might be higher than you, Bill.
An investigation? Yeah, I'm.
Go ahead, Puffin.
I did. I rolled a 26.
Oh, nice. Now here's the question, and actually, I wouldn't ask Puffin this question. I'd ask Bill this question, but I guess I'll just say it to the universe. You do find peeky holes. Do you tell the group though?
Hmm.
I figured he'd tell me, considering I requested him to look for them.
Don't let the DM sow discord.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
Mhm.
see nothing. All right, I'm going to bed.
I am also proficient in investigation, so
I
I
am
will check
too.
too.
Yeah, but no, the cleric got it though.
I know, but we don't know who's telling us. Nobody's telling us, so it's like I might as well check too. 15.
See, that's what you
I'm
call
gonna be like,
meta.
hey guys, what's this used for? What's
Uh-huh.
this?
No,
Okay.
I'm just
I mean,
playing.
if I wanted to
what?
No,
peek, I just roll
I'm
over.
just goofing. I'm just playing around. There are no peeky holes. This place is actually just a straight up, business, dude. But you guys put all your protections in line because you are worried. And of course, you are towny people, so you should be. And you guys get some sleep. Do we have any manner of watch throughout the night as usual?
Since I was
Yeah.
riding most of the way, I will
It is
watch.
not going to matter. Everybody's got a line of fatigue, and if you take watch, you will keep
Okay.
that fatigue.
All right.
Well, I'll do a
fine.
Hey,
short way.
why can't his familiar keep watch?
Actually, I was just thinking, my familiar can, and it can
Oh,
talk
I'm
and
sorry.
communicate
I
with me
forgot about that.
telepathically.
Yeah, God zapped it again. Yeah.
If you don't want me to have the familiar, I can change to a different pact. That's fine. Pact boon.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm just asking: is anybody taking watch? Yes or no?
Yes. Standard operating procedure.
So
We're
who's
still
doing
out in
the
the
watch?
wild.
Who's doing watch throughout the night?
Well, we should probably have
There's
3
three,
shifts.
right? There's always three. So
Yeah.
who are the 3 people that are going to keep fatigue in the morning?
People who can do the most damage should sleep.
I'll
And
take first watch. I don't do much damage.
Okay.
I
We're
don't do
just
much
we're just gonna
damage, so
sleep.
I'll
We'll
take
just start
second.
late. We'll start late so no one has
Yeah,
fatigue.
we'll sleep an extra. We'll sleep in
You could
late,
just
so that way
drop a
there's
day
no issue.
here. You could drop a day here, and then that
Yeah,
doesn't matter anyway.
we'll
Yeah.
sleep in late,
Yeah. Okay.
but we'll
Eat some
set
more
up. Yeah, we'll set up
rubber
an extra
feet.
watch so you can cut it up more. So I'll
Well,
take one of the watches. That way we can all get enough sleep to not get the fatigue.
Oh no, you're going to get fatigue, but it's not going to matter if you don't push on quickly in the morning.
Okay, that's fine.
So
We're not going to push on quick in the morning.
fair enough.
Right.
So you
I'll be
guys
right
get through
back.
the night, no problem. No one wakes up with dysentery. Matter of fact, like I said, the chicken was fine. It was pretty good. It's a little bit spicy for your some of your likes, maybe. But nevertheless, you wake up pretty early because the racket outside is wow. I mean, this place gets moving and bustling early. I mean, it's like effectively 6 a.m. I don't know if Honey has a watch. She might have one. Um, well, she might have one, right? It's not something normally people would have, but an artificer might well have one.
He needs to
And
make her
it's
time.
it's effectively 6 in the morning. It's a rooster crow time, and this place is moving. You see people, you see carts going around, goods and wagons full of various crates are being moved around. You guys are down the up the street from the slave market, but that clearly is starting up because that's got a lot of noise going on over there. This is a busy, busy place.
Hmm.
All
We
right.
should actually restock on our rations.
No, we already went over this. You
We,
can make stuff,
oh yeah,
and
that's right.
You guys don't really have any issues with rations
yeah,
between you and
Okay.
Honey. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, Honey can
So
make various liquors and shit. So I mean,
Yeah.
Yep. Go to the bathroom. Make sure the
she
dog goes tinkle to
she can
somewhere,
make
and
mayonnaise.
that is true.
put the dog on the
Um,
bed and curl up with the dog.
so
Fair enough.
my question to Honey is, so since we have a bag of holding that isn't created by one of your artificer slots, what would you like to create to switch it out with the one that we currently have?
Let's see. Let's see. Well, I don't.
Now that she has a choice, she can't make up her mind.
Gosh. Oh goodness. Let's see. There's the alchemy. I already have an alchemy jug in use. It's
Mhm.
probably alchemy jug, and the bag of holding is probably my standard, right?
Yeah. So if we keep the alchemy jug, I think you should have 2 or 3 items now that you can make, based on your level.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, I think I think I should be up to like the intermediate stuff.
Mhm. So
Uh,
you could even make like, ooh, eyes of charming and lanterns are revealing. There's a lot of interesting stuff.
yep. So maybe while we're doing our random stuff today, kind
Yep.
of look over that so that way by tonight you can figure out what you want to make, and that way.
good idea.
We'll have those
Yeah.
ready to go.
All right, cool. So, yeah. Well, I know what I want to do today,
Okay.
and
I'm
I'm
following
going.
you.
I'm going to. Well, we should probably all go together because I'm going to sell that studded leather armor. Even if we're not going to sell the magic stuff down here, at least I can get a lay of the land while we're traveling around.
Studded leather.
Yeah.
I can wear leather. Can I wear studded leather?
It has metal
Um.
studs in it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's tricky. I know that's a Chester
I don't
question.
know. It's a Chester question.
What's the
Unless
question?
this, can she wear studded leather? It's technically leather, but it has metal studs in it.
No.
Okay, never mind then.
Your mother
Um,
wears studded leather, though.
Now you guys are on the street where, and that's probably why it's so loud, because all the shopkeepers are open. There's a lot of artisans. There's trade goods. There's treasure good areas. This street is just bustling with business getting started and setting up for the day. Now I do know what was the exchange rate for gold, GOP?
1 to 100.
Yeah, $100 for a piece of gold for a cent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, that
Copper is
is
1 to 1, silver is 10 to 1, and gold is 100 to 1.
so basically, it's going to cost you about half, honey, to get all the. You can get it here, to get all of the goods. You might be able to get a 10% discount on that with a proper negotiator with you. But it costs you about half of the material value in order to make a thing. So,
Okay.
and that is $25,000 for you to be able to make a musket.
Okay.
Now, the
To
good
make
thing
a
about
what?
it is once you have that, then you can apply all your artificer stuff to it and do some cool stuff. It is pretty expensive. I don't know if you have that kind of money.
I do.
Well, I know the party does. I'm talking about honey.
Yes. Since I've been earning about 5,000 a week at my
That's true.
business.
She does. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Okay, but it costs you 25,000 gold. Like I said, you could get a 10% discount if you get a proper negotiation role. And I would say take GOP with you.
Yeah.
Nevertheless,
Yeah.
now just write this down so we can have it because you'll spend the money and it'll take you time to build it. But just write this down so we can have it done. A musket and a pistol is half of that, by the way. But a musket is going to cost, does a D12 in piercing damage. Okay,
1d12.
1d12.
Okay.
It's got a range of 40/120, meaning standard range, short range, full range. And it does have loading with it, and it's also two-handed, which of course it is, which could affect you. Loading,
Is that
yeah,
so? It's every other turn,
yeah,
or if you have
but for her it's not going to matter because she's not going to be using it as a musket. She's going to be using it as an artificer item, right?
now,
So it's not going to
just
apply.
saying, just asking, but if you had 2 attacks, would you then be able just to fire once per round? If you had
If
loading
you're
as a
just using the item, yeah. Because
okay,
keep in mind
thanks.
she can't buy a musket, but she can
No,
build one, right?
right,
Make
right.
anything.
She can. But I know that's what she wants to do, so I just want to get that out there. All right, so let me go around the horn here and see who's doing what. So I'll start right from the top and just keep going down. Amy, the guys go to spend the team's going to spend a day here, and you guys are going to be various people buying various things. Do you want to do anything, or you just want to kind of chill for the day?
Um, I mean, I'm probably going to be staying with my sister.
Sure.
So
Not sister, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, no,
she's my sister.
it's her
Yeah.
sister because she's a half elf. Oh, sorry.
Hmm.
That's right.
That's right.
Exactly.
So you got to hang out with your sister. We know what your sister's doing. All right, cool. Let me go down next. Bill, what are we doing, Bill?
I'm just with the group. I mean, I know we need to get some information, but I don't want to do it blindly. So I just want to see what I
Well,
can find out
if you
while we're
stick with a
while we're.
group, it's going to be dealing with traders and stuff, and that's fine.
Uh,
If you
That's
really want to
fine.
dig in and find information, you might want to do the Bill thing. Assassin's Creed it.
I do. Gosh, and that would be fun. But I don't want to take all the screen time from other people either. You
I
know.
think we're all fine. You could be doing that while we're doing our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Assassin.
Well,
And
not
if you really want a way to communicate with the group, I can let you keep my familiar with you.
Well,
That
what
just turn invisible. Okay.
I think though, I need to be a little more beefy. I mean, I've got like 30 hit points and 17 AC. I could use a buff on my AC somehow. Who's got something that would help?
Well, we have a party member who can make 2 other magical items
Yeah.
through
I've
So
her.
got
that's.
Nancy
I mean,
tonight.
that's not going to do us any good this morning.
yeah, no
True.
good. Yeah.
True.
Anybody?
I don't know. I don't know. It's the wind might be talking.
No, to be fair, because it is Elven Chain, and it's magified, Elven Chain, he
Mhm.
might well be just wearing that under his clothing, and you wouldn't even know.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, if I make it back, cool.
Okay,
If
cool.
I
So you're
gave it
doing
to you,
that.
I would never
Uh,
get it back.
Yeah, that's
Why?
true.
I'd
No, of course
return
you
it.
wouldn't. It'd be funny. Lady, what are you doing? I'm going to get back to Bill in a
I
minute. What
got
are you
you
I
your
doing?
gold map.
am because of my petite size.
Uh huh.
I do have the dog with me, but I'm not riding him. I got him on a leash.
Okay, you are Chicken Nugget. That's true. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going with the party. I'm keeping an eye on strange looking people or stuff like
So
that.
you're
That
just
may
with
be
the party.
watching.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
with the
Okay.
party.
Okay. So mainly it looks like GOP has something to do, and I'm going to cover everybody here, and Honey has something to do. Now, another little interesting thing you noticed that you didn't notice in the other dusty cities you traveled through, because you just literally slept, went through them, went to another place, slept, went through them, right? Um,
Yeah,
now, when you were traveling the other ones, a lot of times they're kind of hazy, but you did notice there was this. It's like a sun, not a sun. That did kind of arc with you as you travel through the day. Now that you stayed here, it came in at night and stayed here at night. You did notice that it was night in the city, and the sun is back. So there is some kind of weird mechanism going on that's creating a light type of situation, and you know that they are farming. Let's
that's a
see,
question we need to ask those creatures that control the water. I think that's what we need to do. All of
the
that.
creatures that control the
Whatever that
water.
The
artificial
creatures that
intelligence.
control the water.
You mean the
Have you not been paying
Avatar?
attention?
Yeah,
Alrighty then. I think she's confusing Avatar with James Cameron. All right.
Hmm.
Water
GOP,
tribe.
what are you doing?
I'm selling my studded leather armor.
So you're going and to on this street, and you're going to be selling stuff. Cool. Honey,
Yeah.
what are you doing
Okay. I'm
other than
gonna.
buying materials to make your musket?
Okay. Besides that, my armor's pretty good and everything. I'd say I probably don't have any fun
That's
to do
okay. It's a big
anything
enough
like
project
really
to
extravagant.
buy for the stuff you need anyway.
Yeah.
Are there any like random funny magical items around?
Oh,
In
You
it?
could go to a magic item shop.
okay. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to, if I might find that something useful.
Keep in mind, magic items are ridiculously expensive now.
Oh,
Hmm.
Yeah.
I should know.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Well,
basically, you're doing the musket, and maybe let's
Yeah.
stop by a magic shop. Cool. Well,
Yeah.
we know that GOP is going to magic shop anyway, so we'll do that in order. Puffin, what are you doing?
Um. Well, I guess I'm gonna go with GOP so I can sell some of the things I got.
Cool. All right. So let me come back and deal with the party because that's just simply going to stores. Bill.
Yeah.
Now, Bill, you're looking to find information because you and the party from communicating with each other, you think there's something maybe going on with these deaf speakers, void walkers, dust walk, whatever they are. And there might be some connection to the hag, which is still an ongoing issue, right? It might not be
Correct.
in Iron Pass. You guys were able to push her out, but she's still causing trouble with them forest elves, right? So fair enough. And you want to gather some information. So you go into a ninja stealth mode, and what is it you want to do? How you want to go about gathering information?
Well, I mean, I'll do just some minor alterations to my parents just for the simple fact is I don't want to run to Timothy Senior when I'm by myself and he's with his crowd. So, because I was pretty mean to him and his kid. So remove that pass, and then I'm going to look for symbols of the thieves' camp, um,
Yeah.
and see what I can find on the underground there.
Okay, 2 minutes of traveling on rooftops, which I'm assuming what you're doing. Give me a general stealth roll just for just generalness.
General, general stealth. Okay,
General
was
disarray.
my stealth is a 10. Okay, boop boop. Soccer ball,
Just don't roll a one.
Yeah, pretty much.
14.
All right.
Switch the dice.
So you're kind of moving along on the rooftops because it gives you a better vantage point, of course. Doing your parkour thing, of course, because we know that's what rogues do. Um,
Mhm.
And you're going along and you see a lot of thieves' cant marks. Matter of fact, the alleyways that are off the main streets, 30% of every building has a mark on it, and it is very recognizable because this is mostly human interaction. Keep in mind, you do see Yuanti, but mostly they're the human type Yuanti. You've seen a couple of the more snaky ones, but mostly you see the ones that are, at first glance they look very human. If you look a little closer, you can see some snaky aspects to them. And of course, therefore, in this region of the world, all thieves' cant is thieves' cant. Therefore, you recognize it, and you're able to see they got drop-offs, they got hideouts, they got safe houses, they have underground meeting rooms, they have anything you would imagine, and you're almost like a kid in a candy store because you've never seen this level of thing. This place seems to be run by the Thieves Guild.
And am I able to discern more than one guild, or is it one?
No, matter of fact, it's universal.
So they have one guild basically running
It
the whole
seems. It
place.
seems. Now you guys know
Rule them all.
information from the Avatar that isn't necessarily common knowledge here. You don't really know because you guys just got here. But you do know that the ultimate bosses of this place are the Death Speakers.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know
Well,
that well, you don't know, but you know that from what the Avatar told you, the Deaf Speakers are the main bosses. And the good thing is, from the talking to the Avatar and them and showing various imagery, it's very easy to tell who's a Deaf Speaker. By the way, because they're very white. I mean, very white, and for the most part, they have white hair.
well, I want to see what the Thieves Guild, how they feel about the Death Speakers. So
Sure.
the best way for me to do that is probably get my way into the Thieves Guild, or at least get some contacts in there.
What type
And
of establishment? Which, like I said, they got everything here, and you've
I
you've you've taken a while, kind of going around looking, but any kind of type of thieves activity you can find.
well, I think I might want to look for a fence.
Okay,
I've got one of the coins.
you have to
Actually,
go back to where you started because that's on the trade street.
okay. I mean, I have the bag of alchemical coins. I can fence one of them, or at least start playing some games with the fence.
Okay, so you drop down and you see the fence mark, and there's a dingy door in front of you.
Okay, I'll use the special knock.
Okay. And someone comes to the door and opens it for you. You see this this kind of shortish man. He's above you, so he's taller at the moment, but he's shorter than you are. He's missing his left leg, and in place of it, he has a peg.
Okay.
He says,
Um,
and he's speaking to you, saying, "Oh, nice day. What do you want?" But his hands are moving. And he's basically giving you, expecting a response.
well, I got some items I picked up off of
Are you saying this out loud, or are you saying this with your hands?
with my hands and
Okay.
out loud. Well, it's a beautiful day. The light is high in the sky, and the stench is low into the ground. But with my hands, I'll say I have an art object, a little statuette.
He does. He kind of shakes his head. Indeed, a fine day. And he does a symbol you don't know.
Okay, I'll use the symbol for repita por favor.
And he responds that, "Oh, you're from outside. No problem. Come on in."
Okay.
All right, so you go in. As soon as the doors close, they just start talking normal. Back here, you see a bunch of people just lounging around. Really, it's daytime. But there is a little bit of work going from a couple of people putting things in boxes and stuff. He goes over a desk and asks you to sit down. You pass by a doorway that is partially open, and out in the front you see there's like this. It looks like it's a magical item establishment. Your entire party is in the front room,
Yeah.
and GOP's doing his thing. Tater. Yeah,
Mhm.
but you ignore that and you sit down and talk to him.
I do
And
have my tater straw that I load with spitballs, though.
oh, fair. That is good. That is good. And it's very straightforward. Matter of fact, this is probably a pretty fun experience for you. You learned your trade how? I'm assuming in Wonderland.
Yeah, Wonderland.
Yeah. So you haven't really been able to operate in a town with thieves guild before. You've been trained and all that kind of stuff. And you practice to your little heart's content. But this is your first time to really interact with it, and you're a happy boy because of that. And it all goes exactly as you imagined. Of course, you're going to get a fair price with the fences, but it is a fence, therefore it's going to be considered illegitimate item. So you're only going to get 60% of the no, excuse me, 40% of the value. Um, whereas mostly if you went out to the front of the place, you might get 50% maybe. But that's okay. You're dealing with a fence, and that's as it should be. So everything goes exactly as it should, and they treat you very friendly, and they're looking at your item. So what is it you want to sell?
Well, I asked him if he would be willing to change the deal a little bit to help me establish my career in this in what's the name of our town again? Sorry, I didn't write it down.
Cragmore.
In Cragmore.
He said, "Where are
No,
you from?"
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
stay
from
out of it, GOP. Hi.
okay.
yeah.
He said, "Where are you from?"
Well, I'm from the Thysian Kingdom.
Oh, I see. I see. So you're probably down in Iron Pass then.
We travel. I've been traveling my whole life, so
Oh, cool,
I have.
cool, cool. He's like, yeah, no, more than welcome. You would have to join the guild here, though. It's pretty strict. No freelancing allowed. But the process is pretty simple. We have dues, but you look capable. I'm sure you can handle it.
Now, if I join the guild, is there compulsory tasks that you have to perform, or is it just you pay your dues?
Well, I mean, if the speakers want something, they get it. But other than that, you would be put on a team, or you would. It depends on your skills, really.
Okay, and I think that's worth in checking out.
No,
Is there a
sure.
special? Do you get better rates on our goods with the
Oh, of
guild through the
course,
guild
of
rate?
course, of course. Yeah.
So, because let's say for example, these are maybe worth $250, and you're telling me, you can give me 100 for them. What would I? And if I were in the guild, what would you give me?
It depends on what the item is, and of course the the valuable the supply and demand and all that. But normally you would get front register stuff. Sometimes if you do a real good job and get high in the league, you can even get 60%.
Okay, okay. Well, that's not horrible.
No, and this guy is being straight up friendly to you. No one around is looking at you suspiciously. Nothing at all.
Right. I can do and I'll try an insight check just for shits and giggles. But
Sure.
let's see. So that's 16. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. No, he's shooting straight. He's just doing his job. He's part of this guy is part of a much larger organism, right?
Yeah, and as part of your organism, there is the guild seems this is the huge. I mean, this is one of the largest guilds overtly, that I've ever seen. I mean,
Oh yeah, well, well, we work under the auspices of the speakers, so we get pretty free reign here. It's not like you said. He names off Western Kingdom. I used to operate there. It was so cutthroat. I mean, there must have been 100 guilds, but here it's nice. This is easy. This is cakewalk.
Well, how do I meet the representative for being inducted?
Oh yeah, he takes grabs a little memo parchment from his desk. He takes his quill and he writes down an address and hands it to you. It's
Okay.
in Thieves' Cant, but you can read it easily. Like I said, this is standard Thieves' Cant. So
Okay. Well, I'm new around here, so I guess to myself though, I'm thinking, am I going to be able to find this place on my own, or am I gonna need? I don't want to look stupid in front of him though either, so I don't really want to say I can't find it.
you would
So
assume there's street signs everywhere.
okay, and I'll fold it up and tuck it away, and then yeah, I'm selling them these 3 little statuettes, getting 100 a gold piece then,
What are their value?
or $100. They were like 250.
Oh, okay.
They're,
So you're going to get 40% each.
yeah,
So just do the math. But yeah, no, he looks at it, and are these art objects or magical items?
art
Art,
objects,
art. Yeah. He looks at it.
ancient.
And he's like, one of them he doesn't seem that interested in, but the other two he's like, oh, this is nice. And he just gives you the standard 40% for all three.
Yeah,
Easy peasy.
fertility idols, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. No problem. And like I said, everything is super copacetic. Now you only have experience with thieves who are coming through Iron Pass. Some of them were not the friendliest people, other than quite friendly. This guy and everyone around seems very laid back. But then again, he said it's cakewalk here.
Well, I have to imagine if they're not competing with the authorities or other guilds, there's
Yeah.
not the only violence is for vying for the best seat in the team.
That's right. Yeah.
So, but I'm not going to get a lot of information at this level either. So
No. You actually,
to,
if you were paying attention, you gained a lot of information.
I did, but I do have to move my way up the ladder. Yeah, we have what's the guy? What did you say? The speaker?
The speakers he referred to several times, plurally. The speakers are in charge. Now, from the Avatar, the deaf speakers rule this town.
Right. And gosh, what are some of the items in high demand?
He said, mostly it's just about moving trade that comes in. To be honest with you, he kind of leans in. He speaks a little bit quiet. It's more like a Teamsters union than anything else. But yeah, we move a lot of stuff that comes in here or there, and occasionally you get a gig and running a caravan to way out east. But yeah, I did that once. I didn't like it much. Them speakers are. He kind of looks around. And he's like, yeah, it's pretty freaky.
They're kind of creepy.
Yeah, but keep that to yourself, and they do keep money in the pouch.
Well, creepies can be cool. Creepy's cool. Yeah. So, I mean, as far as like, going out and finding treasure and selling that off, how is that any crew that does that?
Oh yeah, no, a lot of people do that, but they're not. They're more affiliates than they are directly in it. A lot of stuff with acquiring of goods from one trader or another without lightening their load a little bit without them knowing it is a pretty common thing. And there's a lot of nonsense goes on with the slave trade too, but I'm not really a part of that.
So my impression is this is kind of different than a thieves guild, though.
He just said it was more like a Teamsters union. Yeah.
Right. So it's not even a. I mean, I'm just
well, it
to
is,
myself as a
but
player.
it's not. Yeah. But like I said, he seems to be real chill about it, though. Because this is an old dude, and like you said, he was in the western cities. Now he's a thief, so you don't know how much you can trust what he's saying. But he seems to be quite happy with his lot.
Who's watching us?
Oh, just there's one guy who's paying attention to what's going on. There's a couple other guys that are basically dozing. There's one guy smoking a pipe, and there's another guy who's stacking crates, and he seems to be quite pedantic about it. But some people are like that.
So there's 6.
Yeah.
I could probably kill at least 2 or 3 of them before they reacted, right?
Probably, yeah.
Huh. Okay, just keeping that to myself.
Keep in mind, as I've stated with this world, you guys are 6th level. Almost you'll be 7th level today, no matter what you do. You guys are very high level. There are some bangers above you for sure, probably in this town, but you guys are very serious level for this world.
What do you have for magic rings?
I said, I'm not the one to talk about that. I just kind of.
Is that up at the front of the store here?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you related to this guy much? Do you work with him too?
That's my brother.
Okay, cool. You put in a good word for me. I'll throw you in something extra.
Well, he just kind of does the thumb across the pointer finger thing. He says, "Good enough everywhere, isn't it?"
Okay.
That's a thieves' cant for I'm a thief.
Yeah. I was pretty sure the canon was, you have to talk like Jar Jar Binks.
No.
No? Okay, I misunderstood.
That's not it. Yeah, that's not it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thieves' cant is sign language, right?
It yeah.
Yeah. And it's its own like secret coded alphabet.
Yeah. And I don't really have. I have a lead. I have some information. I got some good information. I got a lead. So I'm going to cut here. But before I go, I guess I'll start to head up towards the front of the store, and I'm going to load my spitball.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And I want to take a shot at Tater.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
You hit him square in the head because he's very.
Wait, he's got to roll against my AC.
No, he doesn't. No. It's
What?
automatic.
No,
hit. Automatic hit. Yeah.
I mean, it's at advantage. If
It
This
is
is
at
BS. I haven't even got to test out my new AC yet.
Oh, you want to do a George Bush? Is that what you want to do, a baby Bush?
Yeah, I want him to throw a shoe at me and
23.
23.
You miss.
What's your
24.
AC?
Yeah, but you don't get to add your dexterity.
No.
Why don't I get to add my dex?
Because you're
not. Do you have? Are you counting your shield?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's true. My shield would not be up. So
that's
22.
A hit. Square in the middle of the head.
Yeah, that hits.
It's a sloppy one too.
It's a green one too.
Yeah.
You see, Badger coming up.
Oh wait, I'm going to come in through the back just so I don't.
Oh, so I don't know who did it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, I'll come up through the front.
All right. I don't care. Well, you're coming from the back into the front. Now, you guys have been sitting there waiting in line for quite a while, and you finally get up to your turn. Then a spitball hits Badger. Hits Tater right in the head, just like school. And you see Badger coming up.
I brush it off.
And you don't know why he's coming from the back of the room, but he is. And you guys, of course, got up here. Now, GOP, you want to sell some objects. Puffin wants to sell some objects. You have to go to a different place to get what Honey needs, but go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I have this, and I made sure to make it look as nice as possible. Prestidigitation, all that is nice and clean.
Sure.
And, I present my studded leather. Like, I have this studded leather here, and I was wondering what I can get for it.
Well, any really super high level stuff, this isn't the right place to do it. But for
it's not magical.
Yeah, right. For just kind of normal and baby magic stuff, this place will give you 50%, pretty standard.
Okay, so, and can I negotiate that?
You could try, sure.
Okay.
So you come up, there's an old lady, and you see 2 younger men doing things, and there's an older dude sitting in the back looking grumpy.
18 on my persuasion.
Okay, let me roll for the lady here. Nope, you got it. 10% discount
Okay.
or 10% increase. In your
Yeah,
case.
10%. So I'm making 60% instead
Yep,
of 50.
60%. But this is fine looking studded leather, eh? Don't know why she's from Wisconsin, but she is.
Because that's the like voice you do the best.
It
So
is.
that's why.
It's weird. I've never even been to Wisconsin.
All right. Yeah. No, I'll do it for 60%. Yeah.
Cool. Puffin wanted to sell something too. Puffin, Puffin, Puffin.
The art
Muffin.
pieces. I got 3 of those like ancient art pieces worth like ridiculous dollars.
Oh well, like how much dollars?
$2,500 actually.
How many?
I have 3 of them.
I look at Puffin and I'm like, I make that face, where
Like
it's like you're smiling, but you're not. You're like, and tilt my head.
I'm gonna be like, I have some things to sell. Hold on one second, I gotta check my bag, and I'm gonna, look at my bag for the art pieces and give Badger the school glance of you can make more with this, and just kind of set it down and walk outside to pretend like I'm looking for something, so that he can come pick it up and get a better price on it.
I mean, I can do that, and I'll go follow him. I'll say, man, this is place can't. I don't think they're gonna be forking over thousands of dollars for this stuff.
No, this isn't the right. You know that this isn't the right place for
this. This is small
small potatoes. Now there probably are places around this town that can handle it, but you're gonna have to suss that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so you don't so you don't flash your your wares where you don't need to.
Yeah, I'm gonna let. Do you want to hold on to him so that
I can, but sure, but I don't need to. I mean,
yeah, just
mean,
hold on to it, Puffin, until you guys find a better place. You guys can suss it out. You just got to go look around. Matter of fact, he could probably find out quicker than you can.
All right,
then I'll go do that if you want. I'll start looking for a better place, and then well, let's wait till everyone else is done, and then
well, at this place, I think everyone is done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the party leaves this place, and do you want to go back and talk to the fence, or you want to go talk to another thief somewhere else?
I want to find a better dealer, someone who likes.
Well, someone who can handle higher prices. So you got to ask.
Yeah.
So you want to ask the fence in the back, or you want to go somewhere else?
He's the only one I know right now, so I'm just going to ask him. Hey, I have a line on a few things that are.
When
nice
you said
finds.
that, I thought you said I'm gonna go find a better healer. I'm like, oh,
no, a better dealer, or better
just
fence.
Throw a rock, and you got to find a better healer than you.
You're a war priest. No, the paladin's a better healer. I'm gonna go ask the fence. It's like, hey, I have a companion or mine had we found some things out in the ruins that we just want to shop around. Who's one of the better, or not better? I'm sorry. Who's one who likes to deal in the more of the lucre, the shinier things?
Yeah, you probably want to go over to Bloom Street.
Bloom, okay. You got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. He's smoking a pipe at this time. He kind of tips his pipe up to you as you leave.
Oh, hey! As a matter of fact, here, why don't you try this? And I'll give him a hit of some Squantos.
Oh yeah, that is good stuff. That's good stuff.
So
it's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. No, tip my hat and walk off. I have a hat now.
Oh, you do. Of course you do. Badgers always have hats.
Quick question. So since we've been spending some time down here, could we do our week downtime in this town?
It doesn't matter what the time is. Every week you guys get to do your thing.
Okay.
It's just the way I'm moderating it. So but that's your own personal responsibility. You guys need to take care of that. But every week you guys can make those rolls.
I missed
I
that.
don't
Just
think I did
thinking
it
I was
last week because
underground.
I thought we
Yeah.
were.
Well,
Yeah, I
like I
thought we
said,
were
you
like.
could take care
Yeah.
of that on your own. It's all
All
good.
right,
Okay,
no
so
problem.
2 weeks
That's
of
just
it. All right.
basic character maintenance, right? So next, before you go to Bloom Street, on this street you're on, which we'll say this is Berry Drive. Um, you find
Tuesday.
that there is a place that deals in it's a smithy, but they do have various metals and other goods, woods and things like that that they sell for fabricators in town. You're able to find that on this street, and you go in and you're able to find everything she needs. It's pretty high end and it's a lot of money on the drop, but they're happy to see the spending because that's a lot of money. But she's able to get everything she needs for 20. What did I say?
I think it's
25,000, right?
Right.
Right.
Should
Unless
we?
GOP tries to help you out.
Oh, why don't I? I'll just roll for
Yeah.
persuasion.
Yeah. Just go
I
ahead.
mean, it can't hurt.
I'm assuming.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, natural 20.
Sweet. Nice. Nice. XP. Now keep in mind, basically, just reduce the 25,000 by 10%. So,
Okay.
2,500
Not by
off.
20 because I got a
So
natural 20.
20,200, 22,250. But
What'd you say, GOP?
I was saying not by anything extra because it was a critical success.
So 20% for a 20?
okay, Puffin, I want you
Yes.
to reach to the internet and punch him in the left arm twice.
All right. Let me see here. Let me roll a punch check.
Okay.
My AC is 24. Ah, hey,
Your AC is not 24. Your shield's not up, and you're
I
unaware.
know. Well, yeah, that's right. Darn it.
Got him,
32
Funk.
to got.
Got him. Get him. All right.
No,
So
you didn't because you rolled 220s.
No, I have. Remember,
Got
War
advantage.
Cleric. I can give myself a plus 10. That's
Oh
a
no!
27. Whack.
All right. Well, out of the game somehow, my arm hurts. Good job.
that's right.
Yay.
That's
Get
right.
pinched.
That's right. Now, you guys finish purchasing for her, and she has all her goods. Now, um, this is, because she's going to make a single thing, but it's more material than the end result will be, of course. Um, but it's not so heavy that she can't kind of lug around in a pack. But you guys need to go to Bloom Street for Puffin. Is the whole party sticking together, or is some of the party going back to the room? Which you guys are going to have to pay for another day, by the way.
Which, you know what? I'm going to get us a better rate.
We should all probably stick together. I mean, we could when we go back to the room, we could pay, but might make more sense for us not to be split.
Okay,
That's fine.
so
That's totally
that's probably the best way. So you guys go to Bloom Street and you're looking for a place, and this is much higher end over here. There's inns and taverns over here that seem to be much higher and a little bit less seedy, but the shops are certainly more high end. You actually find an elf who has a little store called Durbin's Goods. And you can sell Puffin stuff for the normal, just make your roll and all that kind of stuff. It's quite easy. Now, the question I have is not what the party is doing, because you guys are, just doing what you're doing. Bill, is Badger staying with the party, or is he going to go to that address you were given?
What do you guys? What do you all? Are you okay with that?
Yeah,
Would,
I mean, I still
do we wanna
recommend you.
talk about? Do you want to talk about this a little bit? I mean,
Um,
it's not a real thieves guild. It's basically the mob, and
Yeah, that's
they'll
what
re-
it is.
they'll require my services as needed, but it puts us in that, what we were talking about earlier. It puts us in a place where I can make some money doing stuff that would help out the group, right?
Well, I mean, my character doesn't really have an issue with like your line of work, anyways. So like he wouldn't have a problem. But yeah, I mean, as long as it's not gonna like, as long as it's kind of something where it's sporadic enough where you're not gonna be like taken out of the party, then
I
Oh.
Don't have any clue.
Yeah, so I would say inquire about it before you make any agreement. Once again, if you want to have two-way communication, I can send my invisible closet with you, and I can communicate. But
Yeah, they'll probably suss him out, but
true, but it's an option for you if you want it.
that thing makes me want to. It's
But it's useful.
it's scary. It scares. It gives me nightmares. Um, it is useful, but we're out here in the open, and maybe is who has. Do we have like the sneaky cone of silence or like make things inaudible? 'Cause we're being watched. You know that.
I might be able to craft some
No, no.
Those are things that take
uh
time.
Yeah, you have to do it
science
like
items
overnight
enough.
over the
So
long rest.
no. The answer is no.
Okay.
You don't have a
Um,
psionicist with you. You would be good if you had a psionicist with you, but you don't have one.
Someone's playing one.
Yeah, that's usually me.
Let's see. No, I think I got
I think
movers.
No,
No,
nobody here
cone
has
of
anything like that at this level.
Okay.
Nothing that
But
will
you
lie.
guys
Unless you
can
have
kind of
message.
do your little chit chatting, and really it's
No.
just do you go to that meeting or don't you? Is really
Yeah,
Oh wait,
I go.
communication at range. I can do that because my closet. I have a link where no matter what distance he is from me, we can
Well, that's just
communicate back
between
and
you
forth.
and one person.
yeah. I understand what he was on about, but I don't think you're of course right. You are being watched, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't. I think the little mini conversation you're having is fine. So Bill
Yeah,
disappears into the alleys.
yeah. I
You,
was just trying to be as innocuous as
yeah,
possible,
no, I
but still
understand.
trying to get the point across. So,
And
yeah.
the rest of you guys finish your shopping. You give me a roll, GOP,
Okay. What am I rolling for?
A
to
ring of
help see
protection
if you
for
get
me.
10% bonus on sales for Puffin.
Puffin. All right. Cool. 18.
Okay, Puffin, you get 60% of the value of your stuff. This place doesn't even blanket the cost of it, by the way.
Cool. So let me see. I gotta do math and then
Yeah, well,
do
that's right. You do that.
percentages.
And then the party all heads back. Are you going to go back to the same inn, or are you going to find another one? That one seemed fine enough.
Yeah, I didn't have an issue with it.
Yeah. So you go back. You got to pay for another night, and it's $60 each. And you're back in the room, and you guys are going about. Honey's all excited and giddy about her future prospects. It'll take some time, but she'll have something that'll make her way more powerful. You guys are doing your thing, and the bill is heading over to the address. Now, you find it quite easily, and
Okay.
you look at the. Of course, you got to scope it out because you are, Badger. You look at the front, and it looks like a standard residence. But of course, you check out the back, and you see a mark on it, and it says basically guild headquarters.
Okay. Well, I'd like to backtrack, lose whoever's following me, and just
Sure. Give me a stealth roll.
okay. Ooh, doo, doo, doo. Ah, 15.
Okay.
And if I've done what I can do,
Yep.
and see if I can't find them now.
We'll give her a perception check.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I need to key those modifiers in here somehow. Okay.
Oh no!
Nope, couldn't
What'd you
find
roll?
a 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No one's following you at all. You did a great job.
Good work, buddy.
Good job.
All right. Headed in.
All right. So you do the standard knock on the back. A very large, burly man with a beard that, he's basically made of beard, basically.
Is he a
Um,
dwarf?
no, he's a big old dude. He's about 6'5". He looks at you and he says,
Scylla.
"It's a fine day." And then
And
he
I
does
say,
some. His thieves' cant is not great, but he's basically, what do you want?
um, I'll say I have, oh, wait, sorry. I just pulled a blank. But I was just going to say something like, couldn't ask for a finer evening. And then with my hands, I'm saying, inquiring for an interview. And I'll say, drop the name of who, or not, the fence who sent me,
Yeah.
because
We'll say
that's how you
his
do it.
name was Bob.
Biob.
Okay. The guy nods and he steps aside for you to step in.
Okay.
Now, as soon as he stands aside, there's a much more normal-sized human that's off to the side, and he says, "You're the one Bob sent over for an interview, huh?"
That is correct.
All right. Well, follow me. He goes over to the side. He taps on the wall 3 times, and a door opens, a secret door. And there's a stairwell going down. He waves his hand after you. He seems quite nonchalant. You can make an insight roll if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd also like to. Yeah, I guess insight's probably the best right now. And I'm gonna try a different die. I just got insight. Or no, that's investigation. Sorry. All right, insight. Rolling. Okay, so that's not too bad.
What'd you roll?
18.
Okay, no problem.
18.
Yeah, this guy's just doing his job.
Okay.
So you head down the stairs, and this guy's, huh?
Just looking for murder holes and those kinds of
I
things.
imagine,
So
yeah. No, it's just a standard stairwell going into a basement.
okay.
And he's following behind you. When he gets to the bottom of the landing, he scoots in front of you, and he goes over and he knocks on the door with a sequence you don't know, right? And
Memorize it.
well, then give me an intelligence roll.
Okay. Let's see. My intelligence is fantastic. No modifier needed. 17.
Oh,
Okay.
very good. You got it memorized.
All
And
right.
it's a very complicated one. It's dun 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 dun. Yeah.
Dun,
Dun
dun.
dun.
And little door
Well,
opens, and he says, very clear comment. The interviewee is here. The guy opens the door, and the guy kind of puts his hand forward and says, "After you."
okay.
All right.
I head
You
in.
go in, and this is a very dark room. There's a table in the middle of the room, and there's a light coming from some source in the back you don't know. But the table and the chair, which is clearly waiting for you to sit in it, is well lit. Everything else in this room is super dark.
Okay.
What do you do?
I'll go to sit down.
Okay.
But I will just look at the chair to see if there's any clasps on the arms or legs.
There are
maybe.
not.
Okay.
All
But
right.
I'll make sure not to put my arms down on the armrest because I've seen that before. But I'll have my hand in a pocket covering my new magic dagger.
Now, as you sit down, the guy, closes the door behind you, and you hear him walking off. It's kind of dead silent in here. And then you hear a voice, and it says, "So, a new candidate. Interesting, brothers. Let's see what he has to say for himself." Give me a wisdom save, please.
Okay. Do.
Save your wisdom. Don't fail.
Only got a +2.
Or Chester
Low.
will totally kill you.
4.
Oh no, that's not good.
Low is good.
Okay. No, actually, it's perfect for the situation. You cannot move.
I
You
didn't
have been
want to.
telekinetically held.
Okay.
Oh, psionicis, you say?
No, I gave a hint. Yeah. Coming out of the darkness into the light, you see 3 men moving in unison. These 3 men look like this.
The one on the back on the far left is Chester's character.
Yeah, it kind of
NPC.
looks like Shadow Dust, doesn't it? Yeah, a little bit.
Ah, Idle
They look-
Band. Okay.
They look like they need to be in like some,
Rock
European
band.
nightclub.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Alternative music.
But this
Goth,
is
goth
this is the
European
style
nightclub.
I've gone with for the Death Speakers.
Oh, these
Digging
are the
through
Death
art
Speakers,
on the
okay.
internet and finding enough various things for the future that I can use. Okay, all right.
Okay.
So this is what the Death Speaker. It works.
Don't pick on him
Necromancer.
right now. My life is in his hands.
That is true. So these guys come in and they all have this kind of blank expression. There's no anger. There's no joy. There's nothing. There's just
Outside existence.
yeah,
There
it's
it
like
is.
nothingness. And as he said, let's see what he has to say for himself. You feel like needles are poking in your head. It's not causing you damage, but it's not comfortable. Give me another wisdom saying -10.
Oh, that's so random.
Better than
Okay.
that 20 this bad boy.
It doesn't matter.
He could. No, he could. That's why I'm giving him a
No,
roll.
I mean, that
He
20 is
needs
the
a
only.
natural
Yeah.
20, yeah. But I mean,
Oh,
he could
no.
get it.
Nope.
Lady got it.
I already got one
Negative
tonight.
3.
-3. -3, Chester.
Oh, -3. Okay, yeah. That's
Yeah.
rough. All right, so you get
His
this
tongue
kind of
waggles.
searing needle pains in your head. Your vision kind of goes all white, and you can't see anything for the pain, but you also can't scream, which is odd. But then you kind of see flashes of your own memory in your own head, and you hear a voice, the same voice, but it seems to be disembodied now, as if it's in your skull. It says, and it's speaking to you, and he says, interesting. You defeated Timothy's dad's entire party. Iron Pass. Ah, you're the ones that dealt with the hag. Interesting.
Rolling up a new character right now.
Yep.
Yes.
This is the most invasive entry into a Teamsters union I think I've ever seen.
Darrid.
Usually 5 guys with baseball bats will just knock you around a little
Right.
bit. That's the worst.
Darrid certainly doesn't like you. Interesting.
And I can't talk or move or anything.
No. Now, of
Okay.
course, you know who Darrid is. That's the
Yeah.
hag, right? He's called her by
I know who
name.
Timothy's dad is, even
You
though
know.
it's weird that the Justicars call him that, but that's all right.
Hey, we made a decision, and I'm sticking with it.
Like, oh man, that's Tim's dad. You know.
And basically, your entire life is flashed in front of you. He says, Now,
For
you're...
all the girls I've known before.
Yeah, right. Now, you stay at Wonderland, but are you the one whose mom is in partnership? No, is that Puffin? No, Puffin's mom is a whore, but a different type.
Yeah,
That's right.
different type.
Yeah, different type.
Yes.
Right.
Isn't that
GOP's.
Badger?
No.
What is your family
It is
relation
Badger.
in I forget, in Iron Pass?
Who, mine?
Yeah, everyone
they're
has.
they're the diplomats. They're the
No,
diplomats. And
Badger.
Dad's the ranger.
Yeah, no, I know you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Bill. He's the one under psychic examination. Your mom is the one that works, one of the owners of Wonderland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
She
And
runs the bathhouse.
he seems to, yeah, right. She runs the bathhouse. He seems to notice that and dwells on it a while. Unbeknownst to you, when you were a child, you did see your mom naked a lot, as kids do, and he seems to enjoy that, which is kind of creepy for you, because I mean, she's your mom. But
This whole thing is creepy.
the whole thing is, yeah. But basically, he takes
Stop
every
glaring at my mom. But
every
that's
piece of
okay.
information he wants, and these guys stand absolutely stoically and emotionally still as they do, as your vision comes back and you see them. Your mind is no longer being probed, and you're no longer being held. The bald one in the back speaks next. He opens his mouth and speaks, and he's like, "Well, brothers, I think he might be useful." And then the one on the right hand side says, "Indeed. What is it that you want from us?" thief.
You already know the answer to that.
Yeah, but
Death Speaker.
they want you to speak about it.
I want to know your intentions with the Iron Hills.
The Iron Pass.
Oh yeah,
Once again, no
because
emotion at
I
all from
am
any of them. He
because
says,
I am the leader of the Iron Company.
"Oh, okay. Well, that's fair enough.
There's
In
a
your own mind,
disturbance in the force.
there's a disturbance in the
Um,
force." He says,
I, I'm sorry. Who makes all the good decisions?
that's true. That
Me.
is true." Or is ignored. Good decisions, but oftenly ignored. Ignored.
Yeah.
He says, "You
I
have
don't know
your
why those ones.
assumptions, but it has little to do with Iron Pass and more to do with future migrations. Nevertheless, this has nothing to do with you and your small squad. Do you wish to work for the Thieves Guild here in Cragmora? Yes or no?"
Yeah.
Very well. Give him his papers. And then these guys disappear back into the darkness. Door opens. That same guy is sitting there, and as you get up and leave, I'm assuming quite quickly, he looks at you like, "Whew, yeah, I know what you mean, man." Right? He has that kind of look on his face, and
And I'm like, okay, so where are the clean pants?
he went through it too, and he takes you to a place to freshen up, but he takes you in a place in is kind of like an office, and sure
Mm-hmm.
enough, you're given. They get your name and all your information, and you are now an official member of the Cragmore Thieves Guild, or Teamsters Union, or Mafia, or whatever you want to call it.
Welcome to the mafia.
So there you go.
Okay. I'll be back when I'm back.
Yeah, and
Jack.
no, that's it. You don't get paperwork or licenses or anything like that, but you are officially written in the book, and no one messes with you. And of course, the guy who gave you the knowing nod, he says, "Oh yeah, by morning time, everybody will know you're in. So don't sweat it. You guys are over at the Hooded Veil, right? Yeah, it's an okay
Yeah.
place.
Where's
It's as good as you got to get around here. So just go over there, and someone will contact you tomorrow morning."
It's kind of a ripoff, man. $60 a head a night.
Yeah, well,
Is that normal?
yeah, this place is a lot of money moving through here.
All right. You could get a freaking mint on the pillow or something.
Good luck.
Would you
All
eat
right.
it?
Would you eat it? That's a good question. All right. So by around dinner time, you guys get the chicken again. Probably best. He's come back in, and of course he dives into the chicken. And what do you wish to share with the party about your experience?
Well, I take out a piece of paper, a pencil, and I just write down a story of what happened.
Mhm.
And in that story, has everything we've done is besides just my experience, but just so that they know is all of our activities are being watched. What do you guys feel like doing?
Yeah.
Staying here will be hazardous to our health. Yada yada yada.
Well,
But
now
I'm in.
I don't know if I would agree with that assumption. They went through your head. They know your entire life, and they didn't give a shit.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing
They
too.
didn't care about your connection to Iron Pass mayor. They don't care about Tater being noble. They didn't react. They didn't
and what they
care at
did
all,
say
and they
though
offered you a
is
job.
what they did say is that it's like this is a multi-generational, essentially like escapade, right? Campaign. It's
They hinted
levels.
to something like that. Yeah, you're not sure exactly what they meant, but you can get that feeling off of it. But
Yeah.
the point being is They really didn't. But another thing you should take away from it is they found you interesting.
Well, they found my mom interesting.
Well, no, that was just a little joking, to make you uncomfortable. But they found you. They said very specifically interesting. He might be useful.
They, yeah, they didn't seem to like the hag very much either.
Well, I
Well,
think she's just another pawn. So, which is that in itself is a scary thought that she's a pawn to them.
Well, you've definitely got the impression that these guys are very powerful. Obviously, they
Yeah.
dominated you like it was nothing.
Well, to be honest with you, a lot of people do. I'm kind of a pushover once you get over the gruff exterior. So,
Well, aw, that's nice. Now, they might have a little bit harder time with, say, a mage or an artificer
or
or something
someone
like
with,
that.
yeah, someone with a more robust mental fortitude. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. But nevertheless, it was a very interesting
I'm
encounter.
weak. Yeah, and I'll share that with them, and that I got another job, and
Well,
you know,
now, that's part of the conversation you guys need to have. He tells you what you saw, so they know everything about you. Okay.
yeah,
They didn't seem to have much reaction to that. They did offer him a job. He's technically part of the Cragmora Thieves Guild now, but that also means he now has responsibilities. So, I mean, you have to take into account: are you going to try to run and leave the city?
not right now. I
Not
mean, I'm
you,
being watched.
but what's the
Oh
rest of the
yeah,
party got to do?
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to look at Badger like, you know, you are pretty annoying sometimes, but we're in this together. So we'll help in any way we can.
well, I'm not asking for your help there, your lord. I'm just telling you
Well,
what the
fine.
situation's like.
Well, if they got a mission for you, maybe you could use our help. That's all I'm saying.
Well, what I'm thinking is that what I find out, I'm gonna we'll communicate it back up the chain. This is all being written down too but they know it. They
They
already
do.
know it.
They do.
Yeah.
So you guys mill that over and have conversations about what you want to do here or there. We'll wait till the morning until complete decisions. You guys still do watch this night? Your fatigue's gone, so it doesn't matter. So I'm assuming you do watch. So the morning comes, the bustle is going on. You guys are getting up and ready to decide what the party is going to do. I mean, Badger probably should not try to leave. The rest of you guys are not under any such obligations, as far as you know, so you have to decide. However, downstairs there is screaming.
Oh dear.
There is one thing we skipped over, but that's fine.
Okay, what was that?
Honey's was able. I mean, it was overnight, so long rest. So Honey was able to do her artificer thing.
Oh yeah, sure.
Sweet.
That's fine. Whatever her abilities let her do. But they're screaming downstairs.
Well,
Okay, well I go check it out.
here, take this. I'll toss him the copper badge that I lifted from the guy
Right,
at the
that
gate.
that probably helps.
I'll look at it confused and put it in my pocket.
No, put it on. It's a badge.
Fine. I put it on, even though it's probably going to end up poorly. Okay.
All right,
A
you
badge from
open the
Badger.
door to go downstairs and see what's going on, and you see this, which
Fuck.
Badger had already seen.
Yep.
There's these three weird, creepy, emotionless guys standing at the door in front of you.
Hey,
Oh.
everybody. This is my new boss and his two twin brothers. Gentlemen.
GOP, what do you do from that information?
Oh, I do my polite bow. It's a pleasure.
They're coming in.
Oh, well, I mean, they were supposed to be coming, right? We knew about this.
No, you didn't.
No,
well, we knew somebody
this
was
is
going to
a
be giving them a
surprise.
mission. Oh, okay.
Well, no, that's true. You did knew he would be getting some kind of mission. That's true.
Yeah,
You just
so I mean, I didn't know it
it'd
was going to be
just
them.
ours directly. That's true.
But
they
we
come
were
into the
expecting
room,
something.
and you all get this kind of. It's not. You're not being spoken to, but In your mind, you all get this feeling that you should sit down and be quiet. Who complies?
I'm
I
sitting
mean,
down.
I don't see any reason not to.
Girls?
I'm leaning against the dog is laying on my bed and I'm laying on the dog. Probably hadn't got up that morning.
I
Anybody?
mean,
Yep. Go ahead.
I I figured I was probably already seated. We're in our room, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying, are you going to be noisy or are you going to comply? Is what I'm saying.
I don't suppose I have any reason to be noisy if they're friends of his. I'm not sure how much I know of what's
Bosses.
going on.
Well, you know everything you saw him experience. He
Yeah.
told you all. He didn't hide anything.
Wait, wait, did I know he was going to go get a job with Mafia?
Yes, that was the plan you guys talked about.
Yeah.
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 I heard you and well, you guys never talk to me. I just sit in the background and never do anything. I thought I was off shopping with Lissa.
Well, you are the
Well,
hammer. Let's be fair.
well, we were in a group together when we talked about it, but that's
Yeah,
all
I
right.
was getting
But
coffees. I didn't hear the conversation either.
Well, I
anyways,
assume you're always included in these conversations.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I never
Unless
think
like
that you're not.
we say
Really.
we're somewhere different, then
Yeah.
but
That's
Oh,
all
otherwise,
right. It doesn't matter. Just go with it.
okay.
These guys are coming in with a proposal for him. The bald one, though,
Two.
does look over at the gnome, and you, for the first time, Bill, he shows emotion. Matter of fact, he kind of almost looks like he's sneering.
Hmm. We're gonna have a problem if he goes after my
It's
my
not doing
compadre.
anything. These You haven't seen these
No.
yeah.
guys hardly move at all in
No.
your two encounters with them. The one in the front actually speaks with his mouth, not his telepathy. And he speaks to you directly, Badger. And he says, "We do have a mission for you if you're willing to accept it. You could just go about normal duties, but you and your team, as he looks around the room, seem to be quite capable. And the prince does have an important mission. Now," he looks at the rest of you and he says, "You have no obligations, only Badger does. However, for him to accomplish this task would be much better if you were with him. But I'll let the prince tell you." He steps to the side and a void portal opens in the doorway. And stepping into the room is the prince himself.
Oh well. If this is a prince, we'll show him courtesy.
Mhm.
Even if it's an enemy, you still show them courtesy,
Now they
right?
don't bow. They don't. Well, of course, Tater knows that for sure. Um, they don't bow at the hip or anything, but they do bow their heads as he enters the through the portal into the room. Now this guy, he's just like the other ones. They're very, very white, almost translucently gray skin, white hair, and he has an absolutely ridiculous level of regalness to him. I mean, just the
Oh,
grace at which he takes his two steps into the room is impressive. This is something that Tater doesn't really have much experience with because he's Tater, and his pop is more of a countryside baron, right?
Yeah. I mean, I know the proper
You do. You've
pleasantries,
seen
but
it, and your
like
mom
yeah,
moves like that. Your mom and your sister move like that.
yeah.
But this guy is full on royal, right? The way he's
Mhm.
moving, it's obvious to everybody in the room. And it do what reaction do you guys have to the prince entering?
well, I bow my head and I and I make that noise so that and look at Brina and be like and just kind of see if she takes the hint.
What do you do, lady?
Yeah, I sit up, straighten my outfit, and bow my head because we're supposed to be sitting down. So
You are sitting, yeah, but you can still bow.
yeah.
Well, what about you, honey? What do you do?
Well, I bow my head. I'm a little tense. And I'm just kind. I feel I know that in my heart I'm going to want to ask my sister if or yeah, my sister, if she senses evil or something, she's just a little uneasy, but does bow her head, but doesn't express it.
Yeah, no, I get you're looking at your sister for that response, and it's good. Amy, you do have that paladin sense,
Hmm.
and you get no buzz whatsoever. Matter of fact, if there's any kind of honing to your ability, you get pure neutrality. Is what you get out of all of
Hmm.
them. There's no evil in the room.
How strange. Well, then I look to her as to give her some comfort and bow my head.
Very good. Let's see, Puffin.
I do the, you know, do the formal bow like I learned to do with,
Oh, sure.
Tater's dad.
And I'm assuming GOP, you do what you know it
Yeah,
more than they do.
all the etiquette. Yeah.
Okay, and Badger, I'm assuming you already said you did. All right, so the prince comes in. He sees you all bowing. Of course, he just has this very regal stance. He lifts his head, and he begins speaking to the room, not any particular individual. And he says, "This is a fortuitous event. We have found a group of capable warriors and adventurers. I have something that I need to be done. It's quite important for the future of Cragmora. Would you be interested in such an endeavor?"
You honor us with your my prince, not my prince, your lord. Please tell us.
Oh, very well. He kind of waves his hand, and the other guys you saw are were displaying psionic abilities, which is something new. You didn't know this about the Death Speakers, but what you do know about the Death Speakers is they are necromancers. That is their main thing, right? That's their whole
Right.
society is based on it. And he creates these. He just kind of waves his hand, and these ghostly images appear next to him in the room, almost like like a misty hologram. And they come into kind of pure focus. And he says that, and I'm going to show you what they look like. He says, "This is my sister, Belith, and her lover, Fedskith. They are rebellious. I need them brought to heel. My sister, of course, cannot be truly harmed, although she does deserve a little bit of a punishment. Fedskith, you can do as you will. It's very simple.
Hmm.
Bring my sister to me."
Okay. Well, I mean, since he's, you know, I'm down with helping Bill. So I just give a little nod. I figure if Bill, if you have any questions, it's you kind of took the lead on this.
I've got a bunch, but I'm kind of like, how impertinent am I going to be? You know what I mean?
Right, and
Mhm.
we're going to leave that as a cliffhanger, and you can think about that till next week.
All
But
right, all right.
so basically, the team has been given the option of Badger doesn't have an option. The rest of you do have an option, and that's been said. And like I said, there's no evil coming off of these guys. Because keep in mind, necromancy is not evil. It often
Hmm.
is used by evil people, but it is not inherently evil. It is actually
Right.
quite neutral. Um,
See, yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
That's not what I was told.
I was gonna say like Puffin's character might disagree.
Well,
Yeah,
you might, but this society,
you threw me under the bus as I couldn't raise a skeleton as a familiar to help me in fights.
did I?
Yes,
You
you said it
did.
was an evil act, and by doing it, I wouldn't be a cleric anymore.
Well,
Yep.
of your type of cleric, this entire society is a necropolitan. You have like what I did with that, a necropolitan
Necro.
culture. So it's different.
I think
Oh,
is about the inner party conflict would also
Yes, that
be
was the
part of the
main
problem.
issue.
Yeah.
Because you have a paladin. Anyway,
Where do
we're
you
gonna
Oh,
leave it.
just raising
go?
people from the dead.
It depends
But
on
that's
how
a
it's
little.
applied, to be fair.
Yeah.
Most necromancers are evil, and they're often seen as evil. But this society of the Death Speakers is a different society, right? And clearly, there's some manner of machinations going on. They don't care anything about personal privacy at all. They dug right into Bill's head without any by your leave whatsoever. They are scary as hell just though standing in front of you. So you know, but they do not give off evil.
That's good.
Yeah. Nevertheless, of course, you don't know about
Unlike the
these.
witch, she was really bad.
She's very, very bad. Yeah, but the hags are literally chaotic evil. There's not many things more evil than a hag.
Right. They weren't too crazy about her either. From
No, it does seem there is some manner of business going on. However, we're going to leave it right there.
Yep.
And these guys will pick up next week. And they get a little week to think about what they want to do before they make the decision. Like I said, the only person in the group that has to take the mission is Badger because, he signed a contract.
Real
In
quick
blood.
though, honey, did you pick what items you wanted to make before we go?
I think she's going to get that written out when we're doing the post game wrap up stuff, and we can get that sorted out. But that's a good call on that because we can see what we can get.
All right. Very, very cool. So, as for today, in essence, what we have is the conclusion of the last story arc. You're not out of the delve yet, but effectively you are, right? We still have that other encounter, but honestly, by the time you get to it, the the helm horrors are not going to be much of an issue for you, right? Because you're 7th level today. So I'm going to end the arc. I'll give you guys a total of for ending the arc, all that kind of stuff. Total of I think 5,000 experience would do it.
5,000 each.
Yeah, I'm sure that's enough, isn't it, GOP?
It's enough for me.
It should be enough for everyone to be 7th level.
I think so because we were all like around 19 something.
Right. Yeah. So 5,000 should be enough to get everyone over the cap, and some of you got 20s today too. If it's not, just add whatever you need to get to 7th, please. But everybody should be at 7th.
We need to hit 23.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
So right. Everyone should be fine. We'll pick it up next week, and these guys will have chats and make a decision what they want to do. But this would be the beginning of another story arc.
It's the beginning of another story.
Another death.
And of course, this story arc is kind of somewhat connected to the outstanding story arc.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, any questions?
Go ahead.
I'm kind of curious to find out more about the princess and the.
Yeah, we need to know more about the princess.
Oh, sure. Well, obviously, that's going to happen next week, right?
But that'll be next week, exactly. So, yeah.
But they're not really married, right? She's still single.
Yeah, she's still single.
Okay.
Asking the important question.
There we go. Very good. Well, I was going to have a little bit of a fight today, but then Lady happened. So.
That was funny, you have to admit.
It was perfect. But that's all right, though. Not every session needs to have combat. Unless you're
parlay.
But nevertheless, thank you all for coming in, and we'll see you all next week. Everybody have yourself a good weekend. Do keep in mind that on Thursday we are doing Drawn Recorded Ultimate Edition. What are we doing this week, girls?
Oh my goodness. What are we doing this? I know we had some open subjects for some of them, so
I know he showed us. I just forget.
Oh my gosh.
He showed us the schedule, right? I forget what it is.
I'm so used to drawing stuff I'm not really familiar with. It's kind of like
Well, that's good though. Let's challenge.
It makes it fun.
613? Is that right? It's the boys.
Oh, the boys. Yeah,
Right.
the boys. The
Yes.
boys. That's
Yes,
right.
that's
It's
it.
the boys.
Thanks for
The comic book version, not TV show. Okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So come back for that. That should actually be fun. It's kind of perfect with the dropping of the Boys TV show. And the Boys has got
Oh,
a lot of
gross.
interesting characters for you to draw. We get to do superheroes, girls. Kind of. Sort
Well,
of.
that's
Right.
good.
Yeah. Well,
Gross.
Garth Ennis's version of them, and he's British, and they hate superheroes, and they're very anti-superhero. But nevertheless,
So kinda,
kind of,
sorta.
sort of.
No.
Yeah. But to be fair, as far as a single, 3-act story, uh, I kind of think that the Boys is probably my favorite of
Really?
all time. Yeah, I would say the Spider-Man's Craven's Last Hunt is an amazing story arc. It's really really good. There are others that are good, but the Garth Ennis, that complete run. What was there? 100 comics in that book in that run,
Hmm.
something like that. It
Man, that is a
is a lot. But he told a complete story. Done. It was great. But nevertheless, come back on Thursday for that. And
Mhm.
anybody want to namaste something?
Namaste.
Namaste. Yes.
That's so
Namaste.
long.
It's been a long
You haven't
time.
done a namaste in forever,
It's been
Chester.
a
I know,
while.
right?
Yeah. It's
May
been a
all
while.
of your
Yeah.
fish fights be handily won. That's
Well, that's
probably.
true. That investigator's he's had a lot of trouble with fish.
It's still
That
chasing him
sounds,
down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
that sounds kind of fishy to me.
Yeah. Well.
Uh,
All right. Later, everybody.
Peace.
Everyone.
Goodbye.